Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Community Spotlight. We are here with our third installment of the Speed Seasons tutorial series because yesterday, in case you missed it, we had the big Doom race. It was actually really good. If you missed it, definitely recommend you go check it out on our VODs. It'll be up on our YouTube pretty soon. Just really solid race. We had a lot of people show up who hadn't played Doom before or had only played it a little bit, put in the time, and got some really good times. But before we get into the Speed Seasons part of this, just real quick, if you are watching on YouTube and you'd like to support our live content, please consider checking out our Twitch channel over here at twitch.tv/GDQ. You can completely shorten it like that, and it works. It will forward you to our main channel. And of course, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you have Prime Gaming. There we go, that's the right word. And you can subscribe to any Twitch channel of your choice every month for free. We would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to our channel, as your hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. You can find information on all of our hotfix shows over at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to see upcoming schedule, shows, when they're going to be in this month. We'll be flipping that over to April pretty soon, so you'll be able to see the entire new month schedule in the next couple of days. And of course, there's also a form there you can use to submit runs that you would like to have on a show. So like if a showrunner hasn't approached you, but you're like, I think this would be a really good fit for Hotfix, you can fill out that form and just let us know that you're interested in playing that game on one of our shows. And of course, tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Time Capsule, where Smooth Operative hosts a show about speedruns of games that were released in the same year. Tomorrow's show will be featuring Pikmin and Shenmue 2 and will be a good time, so definitely worth checking out. But we've got Alpha 5, Phantom Matt here. They're going to be going over Link's Awakening DX for us. But before we jump into that, if people have missed this whole Speed Seasons thing, Alpha, what is Speed Seasons all about, and why are we doing this?
So, Speed Seasons is basically this whole get-yourself speedrunning sort of tournament event. Basically, every 2 weeks, I announce a game. Yesterday, I announced Link's Awakening. That's the next game. No system transition / wrong word. No stew. As the category. Everyone gets 2 weeks to learn it. Then on Saturday, you take what you learned, or you show up blind, and you race the game. Or on Sunday, sorry, 2 weeks later, you take what you've learned, or you show up blind, or do whatever. You join the race room on Speedruns Live. Anybody can join that race, and you race the game. And based on that, you earn points, qualify for playoffs. Where if you qualify for playoffs, if you earn enough points over the season, I give you prizes that are provided by me. It's gonna be good, and yeah, it's a great event. Races are open for anybody. I highly recommend joining, even if it's just for one game. If you see something, that we show off that you're like, I want to learn that speedrun, or I'm gonna try to learn that speedrun. This is as casual as you want it to be, and you can go as hard or just as comfortably as you'd like with the whole event, and it's a lot of fun. And if you want to check out any more information on it, you can go to speedseasons.com.
Yeah, yesterday on the Doom race, we had somebody who hadn't played Doom at all before they started practicing for the race come in third in the race with a really impressive time. And we also had somebody who decided they were just going to play it blind and completed it in like 4 hours or so.
Yeah, they had a very good blind time. Yeah, they had played that. They did one of the secret maps because they couldn't find the exit to E2M5. It was a very good showing. It's a lot of fun, and everybody really enjoyed that game. And I hope everybody enjoys this one. There's a lot of tech to cover, a lot of backup strats to cover with this game, especially just given the category.
Yeah, this
I have Phantom Matt here.
Glitch heavy than the previous two.
Oh yeah, so this is, I thought it was a little lacking from the first Speed Seasons event, was some speedruns are extremely glitch heavy. And we didn't really have that. And I thought, well, this one's glitch heavy, and the movement's really fun. Let's just do this one. I also wanted to put a Zelda game that had a category within, 30-ish minutes you could reasonably achieve within 2 weeks of play. That left me with laughing as I told people to play Zelda 1, and I didn't want to do that because that's really mean, because that's a very hard game. And Zelda 2 isn't really a top-down Zelda game, so we got Link's Awakening. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I try to pick a lot of different variety for the tournament. So, so far, you know, we've had Mario, Zelda, and Doom. They're not exactly the same genre, although this one is loosely related because it is filled with Mario characters. Just because Link's Awakening is a weird game.
And of course,
you know,
we've got Phantom Matt here on the side. He's going to be helping out with commentary. Hi, Matt.
Hello, Roken. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Usually I ask the guests how they're doing, so hopefully you're doing
we're flipping
well.
the script.
It's going to be a great dichotomy going between all of us. We've all done plenty of commentary before. And Matt and Railcoon are going to try their best not to bully me as I mess everything up.
Wait, we're going to be trying
anyway.
not to bully you? What?
No, we're gonna succeed. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. But anyway, so I guess I'm ready to get started with this tutorial. So I'll just press the start button. I guess I'll explain a little bit about the category first. So no system transition is it's any percent no system transition, no wrong warp. Any percent would be just, you know, beat the game as fast as possible. No system transition means every time you enter like a house, you're entering a new system. You can't go from one system to another system. There's the overworld, there's Underworld 1, there's Underworld 2, those are the, and I guess also Color Dungeon. Those are the 4 maps in Link's Awakening DX. Color Dungeon exists on its own map. It's really weirdly put into the game because they just took the extra memory for the Game Boy Color and slapped it on there. But it's not really relevant for the run. The overworld contains the whole overworld. Underworld 1 and Underworld 2 contain all of the dungeons and caves, and very easily you can walk from one cave to a different one. You can go from D3 to D4. There's a category we have called Reverse Boss Order, where you go to Dungeon 1, and you walk from Dungeon 1 to Dungeon 8, because that's the fastest way to do it. And while being in Dungeon 1. That's banned. And then there are a couple wrong warps in the game, involving the doghouse, involving transitioning off of through certain transitions strangely. There's one in D7 that we won't see, but those are banned. Almost all of them are not helpful except for the doghouse transitions. But yeah, so we're going to be beating the game with basically everything crazy broken, just not everything. So I guess I'll get started. We're playing on the Japanese 1.0 version of the game. That's the fastest version of this game. It saves a lot of time from text, and there are some glitches that are 1.0 exclusive that are required. You might be able to do it on 1.1, but I'm not sure. There's some glitches that don't work there. But anyway, I will get started now if I can.
If you have those types of questions, and you go to the speedseasons.com, there's a Discord link where if you're thinking of jumping into this race, we've got a channel for the upcoming game, which is currently LADX, and there's a couple Link's Awakening people in there who've been good about answering questions. So we've already had a few questions like what versions this all works on. So if you're interested, you're not sure if the copy you have works, just pop it in there. See, either scroll up into the conversation or ask, and we'll get back to you on it. But
yeah, we actually have a Japanese runner who's sitting with his like release day purchased in Japan LADX copy and his Super Game Boy 2, and is just hoping that it doesn't lag hard enough that he can use that to play. So I'm actually really excited because if that works out, that's going to be a neat one to see. But yeah, let's get started. So you know, we start in this bed. We got shipwrecked. That's the basic story. Not much to do here except for kind of mash through text as fast as possible. You know, if you see the red arrow you mess up, you got to go over here and talk to Mario. His talking hitbox is really big, but I kind of messed up a little bit in my movement. You can talk to him like down here. It's probably the fastest way to do that. But the first minute or so of this run, as we go grab the sword, is pretty calm.
Almost same across almost
yeah.
all the categories.
This kid's
game.
hitbox is gargantuan. Like like, so he blocks you right there. I was like 1 pixel off from hitting him. So that's something to avoid. Sometimes that Octorok gets in your way. It just happens. You take damage. So right here, you take the shield out, and I'm gonna make a little save state. Or that's the wrong button. I'll make a little save state right here. because there are two ways to kind of do this. So the way I like to do it is, let's just retry that again. The way I like to do it.
Fantastic execution, Alpha. 100%. You totally got that quick sword twice.
I did
what are we
the shield bump
trying to
so
do?
early. Okay, there we go.
To damage boost off of the urchin, so that way when we walk to the right while the owl is coming down, we get the sword.
Yeah, so that picks the sword as fast as possible. It has one side effect there, where basically we need 10 rupees, and if I kill this urchin and it drops a rupee, that way is slower. If it doesn't drop a rupee, that way is faster. Because we need to do, as I got 2 rupee dupes there, I got 5 rupees out of 3. I'll explain that after. The other way of doing that is people come down here and they'll push the first urchin, not the second one. They'll push this guy here, and then go like around. And they'll go from the side, and they'll just push this along to like right there. Then they'll go line them. They don't take that damage. They'll line themselves up like right here, and then you can just kind of walk straight at the sword. And if you're holding out your sword, maybe I was a pixel too low. You can just pick it up right there. I'm not very familiar with that lineup.
No,
unfortunately.
the owl always lands and talks with that way. It just puts the urchin in a better position.
Yeah, it puts the urchin in a better position, and then if that were to drop a rupee, that would die. So let me just show this one off a little bit again, because I didn't like that I was at 1 heart. Also, I like doing that one. So yeah, you pick that one up during the cutscene. It saves a little bit of time, but the urchin's in a better spot, so you save your time later.
So you're talking about rupee duping.
Yeah,
Can you do anything fancy to make that happen? How are you duping rupees?
So rupee duping is your hitbox, your shield hitbox, your sword hitbox. Link has like 3 hitboxes that he can do that with, and that was actually frame perfect. So when they're on the ground, it's frame perfect. When they're in the air, you have to touch the rupee with your body and your shield or sword at like the same time. When it's falling from the air, it can't be interacted with, so you can line yourself up. But it's a little bit more complicated than that, because it's also sort of frame rule dependent. So even if you get yourself into the right position, like your shield is a huge hitbox, so does your body. The overlap, it's not like a small overlap. So you might just not get it, even if you're in the right position.
So instead of
you
like
just kind of
doing something on killing the enemy, you're doing it on picking up the rupee.
Yeah, so like when it's popping down, I'll run underneath it and then get into position and then hope. And sometimes the beach does not, give you enough rupees, or that Octorok bumps you out of the way, and you end up with 6. So yeah, on the run yesterday, I was really happy I got a 10 rupee beach. But when that doesn't happen, you slash your sword there, and you walk over here to where you may live for the rest of your life, as you are now playing a lawnmower game.
It's also worth noting that the rupee drops on the beach are, 50%? Whereas it's 25% from bushes?
Yeah.
And there is an extra enemy that you can kill on the beach, 1 screen below where Alpha safely.
Yeah, and again, you don't line yourself up, and like that, I randomly picked up a rupee by just stabbing a bush. So we got our 10, now we head to the shop. The shopkeeper is an evil man who doesn't like us stealing from him. If you just try to leave, he says, like, what are you doing? You have to pay for that. So you have to distract him by kind of going up here and then walking out, but sometimes he's really fast and tries to catch you. Some people have a lot of different, like, superstitions about this, like you wait as long as it takes him to look for you before you start going, and then that'll work. One of the top French runners of the game, Sagaz, likes to run around the back. I'll show that with a bow. But, you go in there, you stole things, you did bad. 1 shovel equals 1 life.
You are now called Thief for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, you're now called Thief for the rest of the game, which I should say that, one thing I do kind of like about this game is that file length doesn't mean anything, because if you ever look at the text, it will just output all 5 characters anyway, and it's just blank as a character, so it doesn't matter what your name is. But so, anyway, here's a trick that I've known about for, it's probably since 1998. That the way rupee decrements work in the shop is they wanted it to be, really animated. They wanted it to count down so you could see, you know, your hard-earned money going down. So if I, you know, just buy it normally, he'll say like, great, and my money will be deducted. But because it's not actually deducting it, I can say yes to that and then buffer into a save and quit menu. Just save and quit the game, and then I'm back here. I still have 11 rupees, but I also have all 10 of my bombs. Oh,
yeah, the easiest way to do that is to hold Start Select and B as you're talking to him to go say yes, and then just press A.
Yeah, so I'm currently holding Start Select and B, and then I press A here, and then I do that. I have an extra set of bombs now. And then we need to steal this bow. The bow is really overpowered, but it's also really expensive. I'm gonna try and run around the back here. That's what Sagas does. It's kind of consistent. And then the game asks you if you feel good about yourself. The answer is always yes. You have a $980 bow, and since we don't walk back in there, we die. No, we don't die.
And just remember, the bows in Legend of Zelda are all free except for this one, I think.
Yeah, it is free, and he's charging you almost the rupee max for it. So that's, you know, it's a bit sus.
So
anyway, so in here we have Trendy Game. So Trendy Game, one, his hitbox for talking is also gargantuan. But the second thing is that this first hitbox on the Japanese version, for whatever reason, you just push B and it's over. You can then walk over here, and I'm gonna go for Fast Powder. I don't know if I got it, because I think I may have messed up movement. There's a setup that makes this consistent. I didn't get it. Okay. So, there's a very easy setup to do this, and I'm gonna see if I can show it off. So, like, right around here, you'll see, like, the line between the two conveyor belts. And basically, when the top of the powder touches that, if you line the crane up with this perfectly, you just tap the A button, and you'll grab it every time. So, as I do this, I'll put that here, wait for that to touch that, and I press the button. And powder.
It's definitely one of those things that you want to practice, but once you do that, it becomes muscle memory.
Yeah, and the fast powder saves maybe a quarter of a second, if that. It's not
worth the amount of time.
Yeah, you're saving like these 3 pixels right here. Like that's it, because it still has to move left again. So it's not worth it. But I figured I'd mention it.
So I had a question.
That kid has a huge. How did I talk to him?
So I had a question. If you go back up to that grass you were lawn mowing before, Alpha.
Yes.
So you were cutting the grass 3 at a time. Is there a reason not to dig into the grass and cut like 6 or 7 at a time?
So, the way I was doing it was just more like the efficiency of it, of just counting to the number 9, and then, like, cause otherwise, like, this I can't move through, so I gotta go in here, and then slash, and the drop rate's the same, and there's this seashell, which is a text box, and, you know, that's all to do, so just kind of spinning around on 9s is something I like to do. Some people will mow the whole lawn. I'm of the belief that if you don't find any rupees, you should reset the lawn, because the lawn is cursed. I think a lot of people have opinions on that.
Yeah, the lawn is not to be trusted. Never trust the grass.
Yeah,
it's not just the bushes; it's the grass as well. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I've seen runs where I've showed up with 9 rupees and then had a 4-minute enter shop time because it took me 6 screens of this to find a single rupee. Whereas I've had ones where I've left the beach with 3 and my first spin slash showed up with 4 rupees that I all duped. So
you desperately want to get as many rupees as you can on
yes,
the beach.
I cannot stress that enough. The beach is great. You know, spend more time killing enemies if you don't feel lucky. But yeah. So here's the first little thing in the run is a little optimization. You enter Madame Yamao's house to set your save and quit point. Then here's the first major trick of the run is bomb triggers. So the way that this bomb trigger, this first one is done, it's optional. It saves 2 seconds if you get it. You also lose 2 bombs. Your bomb routing is a little tight because you need them for a lot of things. Mainly D7. But this saves 2 seconds on an owl animation. And basically what you're doing is you're placing down a bomb, and then while going through transition, you're kind of playing down 2 bombs, and it kind of drags, because you're so close to the transition, it drags both bombs into the screen. the game doesn't know how to handle 2 bombs at the same time, so it like loads in an animation or skips over certain things that are occasionally occupied. For example, the second bomb trigger I'll be doing, I have to kill a moblin, because for whatever reason, whatever animation I'm trying to load, that moblin is taking up the slot before it, so if I don't kill him, then it doesn't work. There's a lot of oddities like that, but you can... oops, that's still the wrong button to do that. You can bomb trigger, you can buffer everything. So this one would like kind of get up to here. It's pixel perfect. And then you can... The buffering strategy would be to drop a bomb, and then buffer, hold bomb, and then go through the transition. But for this particular bomb trigger, if I say any of them saves 2 seconds, you just go for it. So let's see if I can actually get that. And I do have an auto-fire controller, so I can show off what that looks like. And that's just really fast. So as you can see, I just went straight through that cutscene. It dropped a lot of bombs, which is a side effect of that. But yeah, the owl was all the way over there and just left, so I have control of Link much, much sooner. It doesn't change the music to the mysterious owl sound, etc. So I'm coming up on the Terran skip here. That moblin right there is the one that I was mentioning you have to kill. Kind of do the same thing. You just get into... 1-pixel movements are very hard, so you want to... There's a good visual cue for it. You see these 2 dots that are on the top of Link's head right now, like right here, like these 2. You're 1 pixel away at that point. So if you do that, it's moving. Okay, yeah. So right here is exactly where you want to be, and then you just bomb trigger, and Mario is no longer a raccoon. If you want to skip that, I guess you can watch the... Oh, I guess I can't, unless I do that, which I guess I'll do this again.
So when you say bomb trigger, you're just like triggering a screen transition by dropping a bomb?
No, you're loading in new animations by dropping bombs and bringing a bomb into the next screen, because there's never supposed to be 2 bombs on the same screen, so it just kind of loads more stuff.
Okay.
And like some of those are...
like entities or stuff.
Yeah, and like for example, like one of those things that like it can get in the way, to skip a bunch of D7, there's a Zol that you have to kill, otherwise it just doesn't work. But I guess if this is like really hard, you can't like line yourself up with a pixel or whatever, like it gets really frustrating, you know, you can't just the buffer strategy or whatever just isn't doing it for you, like you just can't get it. The buffer strategy is incredibly consistent, by the way. You can just watch a fun cutscene, but this is what you're skipping. Every Terran
waste of time.
Yeah. There's many ways to waste time in this game, at Terran's expense. But he's a jerk, but not in this run because you don't really see him. But then we grab this tail key, we open the save and quit menu, you can buffer that after you open it. Basically, you just hit the A button, then you hold down all the buttons, and then you save and quit, and you skip an owl, which talks forever. There are ways to skip that without that, but save and quit takes us back to exactly where we want to be. It's nothing too hard. We haven't gotten to the insane things in this run that I'm going to either recommend or not recommend, as we just kind of waddle our way over to Dungeon 3. Very important trick here. Or, sorry, Dungeon 1. Very important trick here. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can just walk across this pit. It is frame rule dependent, but one member of our community will say that you're a coward if you don't go for it. So you have to, at least in every important run. But you don't really. It saves a decent amount of time, but it is unbelievably inconsistent to get, in that it is an absolute joke as whether or not you're going to get it. So normally here, your menu would be bombs, sword. I had shield on because I was doing silly things. But you'd be coming out of the forest with your bombs on here. You would menu here and then switch to shield because we need shield later. And because we have to make a menu, we're going to we're just gonna switch. Or we're gonna do the equip here because it skips the enter dungeon text, which wastes a little bit of time. The only dungeon we don't do that for is Dungeon 4, because our equips should already be in the right spot. we're going to take this right path here because it brings us right by the small key right here. And we very much need this small key in order to get through the dungeon. This little trap here, you just kind of walk up to its thing and you walk around it. It's nothing too complicated yet. We're getting to the fun stuff soon.
We have to wait a little bit to break the game.
Yeah, you have to wait until we get the feather. So this is a room right here where we have these things. We want them gone as quickly as possible. There's a way to... I want to do that room a little better. You can sort of get them all up. You just need to get them gone as fast as possible. I'm not terribly amazing at this room, but you can bounce them all up into these pits, which is pretty fast, or just bouncing one up and then killing the other with a spin slash is pretty good. Then we enter the first 2D section of the game, where we have Goombas. You want to move down the ladder a little bit, then hold left, because otherwise you'll fall just straight into the Goomba pit, and that wastes some time. Here, you don't have an option, so you just go up. Then we're here, and we're about to get the feather. It's a little trick up here. It's called the Exo Boost, just because some guy named Exo found it, and you just kind of damage boost through that.
It's also worth noting that Alpha did something else right there. Like, stop real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. You clip into the wall, so all the walls you can clip. Yeah.
You're inside the wall right now, which is very important.
Yeah. So all of the walls in this game, you can just naturally clip 3 pixels into the wall, and that is very important for basically everything in this game. It lets you go around things faster, but it's very important for a glitch that we're going to show pretty soon. So you get the feather. If you're worried about taking damage here, and I'm going to see if I can get it. I used to get this all the time,
is that, like, precise?
but I can't do it anymore.
Moving to the right a little bit.
Oh, when I come up here, yeah. So I hold to the right a little bit to just kind of, because the way it boosts me around. It wants to do that. So if I hold, I do have to hold right there. You're right about that. Because as you can see, the way the traps meet, they're meeting right here in the center. So if I have this one bounce me first, then the other one will kind of bounce me up here. But yeah, you can just walk into the corners. We're like 3 pixels in, but there is and I can't seem to get this anymore, which is a shame because there's a neat. Yeah, there we go. So you can just quickly turn right as you're about to get hit, and you can shield. It's a little bit slower than the optimal boost strategy, but if you've taken a bunch of damage, because you don't really have the safety of grabbing any hearts, if you're at like half a heart here and you're not confident, I would recommend running into a trap or falling into a hole, because you have to save and quit here anyway. If you were to die, this is probably like the least timely death that you could take in the entire run, because while you're wasting like 5 extra seconds, you're getting all your hearts back, and you're not dying to the next thing that's coming up. So, for the beginner strat for this, I would recommend once you save and quit to switch to Feather and Sword, just because it's a little safer, because this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. You'll want to clip into this wall, like this eyeball guy right here, by doing jumping. I guess this is actually a time that I can mention Link's movement speed. So Link has a movement speed of 16 when he's moving in, like, just cardinal directions. And when he's moving diagonally, he's moving 12 along each vector. So, 25% slower while moving diagonally for up and down. So unless you have to go that way, you kind of always want to be moving in straight lines. The exception for this is the Feather. The Feather removes that speed loss, and you jump 16 in both directions. So that means jumping diagonally with the Feather is something that you kind of always want to do, except when you're feathering, you can't, as much as you want to, go through a transition. You have to wait until you land. So feather movement is really, really important. And it's just kind of picking up like, oh, do I jump here and then I stop, so I do that, or do I jump twice and oh no, I've lost time there. It's a lot to go through for that, but I'm sure it's more of a comfort thing. Like, you'll figure that out as you go. There's a lot of optimal ways to move through the game. This game is routed kind of crazily, but there's still a lot of room for, I want to say, improv, especially in a race like this where you have 2 weeks to learn it. So you'll want to jump up here, just to, get there as fast as possible and clip into this. And then what you're trying to do is you're trying to jump diagonally over to here, and, the damage boost makes it a little bit faster, and just have this hard hat beetle just not get in your way and bump you off. If you don't do that well, and you'll just jump here and the thing won't spawn and he'll bop you off. So I kind of recommend, or if you're at like half a heart, just go up there, bop him off, stand on the switch, pick up the small key.
So
and that's pretty simple.
About the whole jumping, not letting you transition thing. Does that mean you can use that to set up like a bomb trigger entering a screen? Since it will transition you? Yeah, and I was gonna explain that when it's relevant, but yes, this is actually one of the easiest ways to line up a bomb trigger to do that. I don't think in this category I ever have Feather equipped during that, because you can do the same thing with the Boots Bonk. But if you have problems lining up with the Boots Bonk or doing that, the Feather is absolutely one of the best weapons, items to do that with. But so I'm a half a heart, but I'm not.
You will be doing like a jump setup in D7 for the bomb triggers there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, no, I'm doing the pit buffers for that. But I'll show off all the bomb triggers for that one. That one's a weird one. So anyway, so I'll do this. So there's a couple options you can take here, and I guess normally what you would do is, the first way I did that room, where I didn't sword slash, you would have menued to arrow instead of sword. Actually I can, I saving this, because I did a thing, so I'll just go right back to here. So the way you would normally do this, if you're trying to go as fast as possible, to save yourself a menu, you would switch to Feather and Arrow, and I got hit badly by him, but I would have the arrows. And then why do I keep hitting that button? So I'd go this way. The beginner strat, where I would recommend you would still have sword equipped, because I don't recommend going to the right yet, would just be to go pick up the boss key, which is just a short trip up here and around, and you want to clip into this wall. It's very important that you do that. We're going to do something called a super jump. So while you're clipped into a wall, you get all sorts of fun properties, because all of the walls inside of these dungeons are coded as these fall down, like the jumpable ledges. And when you're clipped into the wall and jumping, you kind of set your Y coordinate, or the game gets confused. It thinks you're jumping off of the ledge when you do certain inputs. So there's there's 4 different ways to do... 5 different ways to do a super jump. 6. Never mind. I forgot about the boots one. I forgot about the boots one, and then the other ones are shack jumps, so that's different.
Counting with alpha 5.
We counted to 5. There we go.
We did it. So, the first and easiest way to do it is to hold down, and just while you're holding down, you jump, slash your sword, hold up, slash your sword the other direction. You do a super jump. You're basically in ledge fall, and you can't do anything. And that skips needing an extra key here, which is important because we need that key. And then here's the boss key right here. It's very nice. To escape from this area, you can clip into this wall, and then hold down right, and come on. Don't you just fall down? Why am I not falling down?
Get the jump.
Oh, right, you do have to jump. I haven't done that in so long. But the other way you can do this, and I'm doing a buffer to not lose any to not change pixels while I'm slashing, just to make sure that I'm still clipped into the wall. So the other ways that you can do this are you can do what's called a naked super jump, where if your back is facing the wall and you're clipped into it, you can do the same kind of jump there. The other way that you can do it is if your sword is charged, and this is similar to a naked super jump, but you're forcing your back to be in that direction. You can do it like that. And the other way that you can do it, for right now anyway, is the arrows also work. But arrows are important. They're a pretty good weapon. I'd recommend, keeping them high. You can also use the magic rod, but we're not gonna see that. Let's get past this hard hat beetle.
So, to just be explicitly clear, whenever you want to do a super jump, you jump, you push towards the wall, and then you push away from the wall.
Yes. Yes,
And
you are always pushing towards the wall and then away. With few exceptions, but those are a different type of super jump, and we will get to that once we get the requisite item. So, as you're coming from getting the boss key, you're just going to wrap around the corner real quick, and then do that as fast as possible to avoid taking damage from the bat. And then, yeah, you have that small key that you got from that hard hat beetle earlier. You go down here, and we go and meet, great mini-boss, Rolling Bones. So, you can fight him with your sword if you want to. He's got a lot of health. Like, I've done 4 damage to him so far. 5. Oh no, I'm taking a lot of damage.
Alpha, come on. You're not gonna die to a mini.
No, I was messing around with that. So, so that's like a Rolling Bones sword fight. But just to reiterate, arrows are broken. They do 4 damage each, and many bosses are not expecting you to have them. Yeah.
We're not supposed to have the. We're not supposed to have the bow and arrow this server.
The bow's expensive for a reason, but that's why we're thieves. Because the bow is pretty good. So I'm gonna do this right here. So there's a trick here that you can do if I did not have the boss key, where I'm going to use these traps to bounce into the boss room. It's a little hard to explain. Basically, I'm gonna run over here, do a super jump to clink off of this trap, and basically, when I do that, it's going to clip me into this wall, which will allow me to come up here and do a super jump to the right. And I have to slash my sword basically here, here, or here. It's like a 3-pixel window, and I will bump off of this trap up into the boss room. I don't recommend going for this because, 1, you have a very easy chance to die. These traps do 1 damage each. And 2, it's kind of hard. And if you just get the boss key, maybe you're saving 20 seconds, but if you mess this up twice, you should have just gotten the boss key and not had to deal with this. So let's see how this goes. So I go up here, I do that super jump, I jump over this, and now I'm waiting until that barely touches me, and into the boss room. And yeah, so I can... That's kind of hard to break down, like, in a slow fashion, but I'll try that again, especially since I have the boss key. Right, you'll menu to sword here, anyway, because you can't fight Moldorm with bow. But yeah, you'll do that, and then right as you're about to hit that, if you go too high, you'll bounce over it. If you go... And then you'd like reset all this up, so it's kind of slow to retry the trick. If you go too low, you'll do that. You can also be barely too low by a pixel, and you'll bounce up, and you'll be 1 pixel away from transitioning, and you won't quite make it. And then, because I took a bunch of damage, you'll have to fight Moldorm with 1 heart. And Moldorm is, unjokingly, the hardest boss, I think, to fight in this goal. Because there's a lot going on with his fight. Let me just... Yeah, that's how yeah, and then you die, and that's really slow. There is a lot going on with Moldorm.
So if we break this into parts, you're coming in, and you're attacking the spike as it comes down, just so that you have the timing right to get in the corner and be able to bounce off of it.
Yeah, so you have to... to go over it again, I'll do it. So, if there was a way to slow down the game, it would be great, because it just goes by so quickly. So these come out, and there's not really a way to do that. Then this spike triggers, you super jump to do off of that. You jump over this, and I just kind of wait until it barely hits me, and you hold up to go through the transition. Once you go through the transition, you're going to hold jump and then upright. You're going to pause, although I kind of messed up the pause because I paused early. You're going to pause when you're just... Oh, that was an arrow.
Good job, good job. You can't do this with a bow and arrow, unfortunately.
No, you cannot do this part of it at the very least with bow and arrow. There are ways to recover without taking damage if you're lucky and or good. But, so... You're gonna hold that, you're gonna pause right about here, because Moldorm says, you know, buzz, buzz, intruder alert, something to that effect. And just pausing right there will skip his, voice. But, yeah, so, Moldorm down. I'll break down the Moldorm fight, this time. Because, so, if you do end up here with bow, and you do have the boss key, you just kind of do that, you walk over there to trigger that trap. You walk in here, you're going to pause right as you enter the room, because there's something in this game when the doors close called door lag. And basically just pausing there or jumping at the right time skips it. It's a very minor time save, but it does add up because there's a lot of those doors. And yeah, I'd see someone talking in the chat saying that there's another setup for that trick. But I would not recommend it because it's more obnoxious than the thing I just showed off, because it involves a unclipped super jump and some pixels, and that's reserved for another thing that I'll teach you. And the other thing I just taught you was faster. Anyway, so you'll menu to sort here, you skip the text, you skip that. Moldorm, oh no, I fell down the hole. If you fall down this hole, just hold the jump button, and you'll immediately jump back up. And you'll be there. Funnily enough, this is in the original warpless version of Link's Awakening. You couldn't do that because you would crash the game. So you just kind of hold jump through the transition. Like as you're after you've fallen and the screen goes white, just hold jump and up. You'll just go right through. But yeah, he says his bit every time you do that. So Moldorm, you kind of wanna if you're coming in through this direction. You know, you jump up here, take out your sword, get into a position, and you just want to kind of hit his tail, but he bounces you around a lot. So you're just kind of jumping over him and just trying to land like about his tail. And when you slash him, he kind of loses all his hitbox, but you want to avoid his head because he'll bounce you all over the place. You'll fall into the pit. But then yeah, we have our fourth heart container now. We have a total of 4, and we pick up our full moon cello. It's pretty important having that heart container, because we might not see one ever again.
So it's worth saying, Alpha, how much time does skipping the boss key save you?
10, 15 seconds. It's not worth it. Don't do it.
We'd like to once again state for the record, it's not that worth it to do that trick. So if you just want to finish a run, get the key.
Yes, please get the key. There are a lot of tricks in this category in particular that it's just like, oh, this saves time, but if you mess it up, it does not save time, because resetting the trick takes a lot more time. So, now we just have a bunch of, like, sort of vanilla gameplay. I'm going to be doing a lot of diagonal jumps just to kind of route through here. We have an owl. You just kind of want to mash all your buttons as hard as possible to get through it, and then you can stop mashing buttons about when you see, like, the hoot at the end. And then just, you know, jumping diagonal jumps to just kind of go faster. Then we have these two kids who have like 6,000 text boxes, and I'm just going to press the A button to show off how many text boxes they have, because no one sees this. So this takes forever. As you can see, they're telling us that the dog was stolen, and it's still going on. So one of the reasons we play on this version of the game is if we push the B button, it's over. That saves a lot of time. Make sure to push the B button.
I was expecting you to, like, explain some bomb trigger skip to get past the dialogue. Like, we're gonna do a trick here. And you just, no, press the B button.
Yeah, press the B button.
It's the hardest trick in the game because it's nothing you actually think about.
Yeah, and if you accidentally tap the A button because you're doing your, like, standard double tap through mashing, they'll go to the next text box and it's terrible. Oh, I should probably go over. I'll just fall in this bed.
You
So
should
that
go over that.
there is the
Sure.
heart piece of shame. I was told by one person to tell everybody that it's funny to pick it up during runs, and I was told by another people to remind people not to pick this up, because my community is filled with a bunch of memers. So you don't want to pick that up, it wastes time, and we don't need it. So if you just do a jump and then a diagonal jump up to here, you'll just skip the whole thing. And you know, you can do like, if you pick it up, see, look, it's really slow. And like, you get these text boxes, it's not great, so you wanna avoid that. And you get a really clean jump. As we head up here to Moblin Cave, which is a fun place. You learn that Madame Meow Meow is like a crime family boss or something like that. It's very confusing.
She's dragged you into her island mafia, because now you're an assassin going to kill these moblins who've done nothing except kidnap this lovely dog.
Yeah, so they're like intruder alert or whatever, so you just charge a spin slash to deal with that guy because he's got a shield out and shields are hard. After you kill him, you'll just kind of do a jump up here and slash your sword out so you don't waste any time and charge a spin slash. And then this room, you want to try and line up the moblins as best you can to take them out in 2 spin slashes. Sometimes they'll all be really nice and somehow all end up clumped like right here and you can drop them in 1. That's crazy. But you know, just jump spin slash. And then jump spin slash, and then this room goes by pretty quickly, so we'll just do that again, just with all the movement in it. So, just spin slash like that, just charge this. And like that time, see, they all went there. So, nothing too hard, but yeah, you're just coming in here, you're just committing a lot of murder. Like, they're not even really attacking you, they're just kind of wandering around and locking you in the same room as them. Like, you could always just leave, like, the save and quit button's an option, but you're not about that life, because we need this dog that this guy stole. So anyway, this is the Moblin King. He says that you must be an assassin sent by Madame Meow Meow, a person you've never met. He can shoot anywhere between 2 and 5 arrows, then he bonks into a wall. After you do that, you want to be charging like a spin slash. You know, I'll wait till his text is over, and then I'll do the... Oops, wrong button. You want to be charging a spin slash towards a direction, and then you want to get him into a corner, and just kind of slash on him. You can get 3 slashes in a single cycle on him. Like, that would have been easily 3. If you, like, mess up and, like, poke him, I meant to actually mess that up.
Alpha
So,
being good.
Yeah, so,
You don't
like,
want
that can
to
waste a
have
lot of time, or he won't bonk into the wall. Or, like, sometimes if you get him too far against the wall, he won't even hit the wall. So, you want to be, like, pretty close to the wall, just sort of doing that. Wait for him to do that, and also, you want to stay below him because he pops up. And that was 3 hits, and that way if he pops up, he can't touch your sword.
Yeah. So, you had a question, Railgun, at some point in there?
Oh, I was just gonna meme about, like, you know, the moment they're stealing a dog, doing bad things to a dog, they know what's gonna happen. Haven't they ever seen John Wick?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a John Wick. So as you can see, this is a dog. This is a normal, everyday dog. If your dog doesn't look like this, I don't
you
know what
might
to
be
tell you.
hallucinating.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So you get this text box. When this text box starts to show up, I guess I'll fight the Moblin King again because I wanted to actually demonstrate that, and I didn't know you couldn't press other buttons when you do that. Because I've never actually done it slowly before. So, you know, another demonstration of a quick Moblin King fight. So, when the text box shows up, you want to hold B select and A, or B select start, and then you just press A and save and quit. You have your dog, and you're back here. You're outside. And now we're gonna do another glitch, because walking around the swamp is really hard. So we're gonna walk down here, and this part is the tricky part of it all. You need to clip into this wall, but you have to do it adjacent to a pit, and pits are not your friend. You want to get kind of as close. I think I'm clipped enough into this. And then you want to jump towards this, and okay, I did get that. So, text box in this game kind of force Link's body around, like they try to adjust them. To the point where if you pick up a mushroom in the forest, you can do certain skips because the text box on a pit lets you clip through walls, or lets you clip down in pits so you can do different strategies in one category of the game, which is the no save and quit category, which means because of the way that you end up moving through the game, saving the mushroom is like 10 seconds faster. That's probably the hardest category in this game, because if you die, it's over. Other than the shop death. But yeah, so you can use that to clip further into the wall, and then you kind of end up in a weird spot in between. If you're a little bit out of the wall, oh no, I'm lined up too well. Okay, let me just pixel adjustments. So if you're like lined up a little bit so that you won't clip through the wall, they just walk back down and then reset it, and it's clipping us in a little bit more each time, and you'll just get through. So just get in a little bit, and you'll get through eventually.
You can there's actually 2 different ways of doing this flat clip. If you could go back below alpha.
Yeah.
So you can actually check and see whether or not you'll have to jump at the rock or not, based on whether or not you can move up after you clipped.
Based on...
like, if you're clipped right now, and you try to walk up and to the left, I think...
Oh, yeah.
It'll stop you from moving, or if you continue moving, if you're just moving up slowly, then you don't need to jump at the rock. But if you stop moving completely, you jump up at the rock, and then it pushes you through.
Yeah, but you can jump at the rock anyway, because, as you saw when I did this, it's really slow. And if you're not holding it, then you don't go through the rock. So sometimes jumping, like, you can go really fast like that. But yeah. So this is the entrance to Dungeon 2. The best thing that we can do is stand here and wait. Bow Wow has to decide to eat. I do a lot of jumping and slashing to roll RNG. RNG is rolled by the music, your sword slashes, Bow Wow hopping around. This game, we don't have any manips for it because everything is rolling RNG, except for one manip, when we remove all of those things that roll RNG. And that's at the very end of the run, but as you can see, Bow Wow has eaten our way into Dungeon 2. It's a good... I'm gonna restart that just so I can show that off. So, as you can see, there was dungeon text there. Dungeon text is slow, and we do have to do a menu at the start of this dungeon. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna pause, like, right as I clear that. I'm gonna put the powder there, because I need to do another diagonal jump. Then, while I'm going over this ledge, I'm gonna menu back, and then hold left A, so I get my sword out, and charge the spin slash, kill those Stalfos. Okay. So that's a pretty quick way of just dealing with that. It's right there. Grab this, move up, jump back, jump over the landing leg, hold left, charge your sword, drop the Stalfos. And okay, that's actually a good demonstration point. So, key bounces when they fall from the sky. They're not super relevant in this category because we only see 2 of them? That is frame rule dependent. It's a 50-50 whether or not you're catching that key. It's unfortunate, but you might lose 2 seconds, and there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry. So the rest of this is kind of simple. I should have opened the save and quit menu to skip picking up that key. And then, because of the way that we're doing this dungeon, you don't have to pick this powder up. We don't need powder for, like, the rest of the game. We have 7. But just for the sake of the tutorial, and so we have plenty, I'm gonna grab that. I did it in my run. If you might need it. You might not.
That's a good safety.
Yeah, it's safety. And also, and this is something weird, but with the ghost skip, Matt mentioned picking up some flying things might make ghosts move weirdly, so I stopped picking up all the flying things, and then the ghosts started behaving. So now I don't know if he's, like, if it's just an incredibly strange coincidence and I just got good, or if that was correct. This game does some weird things. So this room is actually really hard to do that movement, and I should go over that. So you need to move down and then left instantly, and at the very edge, you're going to jump and you're going to hold your Rock's Feather. Otherwise, you're going to land on the spikes. It's not going to be fun.
You're gonna get bounced to the right.
I could not do it for like the longest time, was this movement and making that jump. This one looks a lot like you're never going to make it, but if you just hold A and just jump at it, you'll get it every time.
Yeah, you can ledge climb in this game, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, for a Zelda game with ledge climbing. But yeah, so then we're going to move up. You're going to hold up left and buffer a jump out, and then we're going to see the Hinox here. As you played Breath of the Wild, you know arrows are very effective against their giant eyeball. So, yeah, that's a mini boss. I don't think I need to cover how to beat that guy. This is a room with an eyeball. I'm gonna jump here. I'm just gonna do this. So there's two ways to do this next room coming up. This first way is with the arrows, which is faster. Although I messed it up. Let me try that a little bit different.
And give me the controller.
So you just kind of get up here, and as you're landing, you turn right and you shoot them both in the face. You'll hit both of them, and they get pushed off the screen. And basically, this room checks whether or not the ghosts have left the screen as to whether or not they've been defeated. Just as an example, just because this is the way that the room looks like if you're playing this casually. You know, you light the fires, they get scared. It's like, oh no. And then they, like, flee off the screen. You can't hit them with your sword anymore. And then that's how you beat that room. So, you know, go in here. Just kind of jump up into this corner, wait for them to about to touch you, jump back, shoot them, one arrow, they're gone. That movement is a little hard. There's another bit of tech that you can do with the sword. This is actually really easy. You just come in here, you jump right up against the transition. As the first ghost is about to hit you, you jump, and that manipulates them to fly off the screen.
What?
That...
They're so far away from you that they'll go the other way to try to get
they misread Link's position, and they turn around, and because they left the screen, they're defeated.
Yep, okay.
It's the blue shell going backwards to come and get you.
Yeah. But yeah, so we pick up the power bracelet, and in every strategy you're going to do for this dungeon, you're going to save and quit here. Because either you're about to make very, very, very poor choices, or you're going to come back and do this dungeon later because it's much faster. So if you're going to make poor choices, and I'll just show this now, I do not recommend you do this. It's not worth it to learn. It requires a lot of knowledge just of how the game is to kind of function. But, I mean, I learned it from basically pictures and guessing, so maybe it's not that hard, but it definitely is incredibly scary, and it's sort of a one-shot trick, so, you go through this, like, place, and, you know, I'll show off cleaner movement for that, because I was busy talking. So you're gonna go up here, you're gonna clip into this wall, so you don't have to do a menu. Although you might have to menu anyway. You'll slash these piranha plants, their hitboxes are huge. And then, this is where the poor choices begin. So, on ladders, this is actually, I think, the only ladder fall that we do in this category. If you tap the down button for like 3 frames, you just fall. So now we're here. I'm gonna go in here because this is a trick. So, what we are trying to do is we have to move extremely deliberately right now. I am not pushing any arrows at the same time I'm doing any other actions. I am only doing movements as I'm doing them. So what you would do here is, and you really don't want this Pole's voice to touch you. And again, you can't like touch buttons when you pick up the bunny or anything, because you will mess up your subpixel, and this version of the trick does not work. So you'll kind of clip into this block. Based on your position in this block, you'll know how much you have to clip into the torch. there's a decent visual cue of the bottom of Link's sprite versus this. I will try and show that off, but I have to move very quickly for this to work. So I will throw the Pulse Voice. I like to drop extra powder there, and then right there you can kind of see I'm like lined up a little bit with this, so I want to adjust a bit. I'm gonna reset the bunny. I may have mixed up my subpixel during all of this. So right here, actually, that position I would be in, where my I'm 1 pixel too low now. I want to go up there, and then slash my sword, and then I jump backwards against the wall, hold right, and the second I see that work, I'm gonna hold the shield button out, I'm gonna bounce off of it and land in here.
We do not recommend doing this.
Do not do this. There is a significantly easier, although slower, version of this strategy. I just wanted to explain how it worked, because that hasn't been...
Alpha has to pump up his own ego, and that's why he has to do this right now.
Listen, we don't have a tutorial with this version of this trick shown off, so I needed to make sure it makes it into the video. Okay, but anyway, if you're a sane person, I'm not going to go over that again, but it had to be shown off, just like this other trick I'm going to show off later. We'll come back here later.
We'll be back.
So now we're done.
Where the rational people live later.
Yeah, listen, I think that trick is not that bad. I think it's very cozy. But anyway, so we're done with Dungeon 2 for now. This is actually pretty standard. If you go to a lot of other categories in Link's Awakening, they'll split Dungeon 2 just because having the boots later in the game saves so much time. It's just much easier to come back and deal with it later. And in this category, it's no exception, but for different reasons. So we're moving over here, and just kind of going past Dungeon 4, because right past Dungeon 4... Oh yeah, I did... You know, I'll explain that in a second, too. I did just walk through this flower. So we're just getting to this warp screen. We're immediately saving and quitting because we want to grab that warp point for later. That's just a simple thing. So, these flowers, they don't have hitboxes, like, along the top. And if Bow Wow doesn't eat all of these, I can demonstrate it. Thanks, Bow Wow. So if you're clipped into... Thanks, Bow Wow! So if you're clipped into a wall, you can just walk through all of these. Bow Wow, you are the worst. So anyway...
he's perfectly friend-shaped.
Yeah, so anyway, there's... Yeah, now we're getting past this, and... There's a couple ways to do this. There's a really cool one that I used to be able to get all the time, but I can't do it for some reason anymore. Okay, there we go. I just wasn't... Yeah, so you just get over here, you jump here, and then you don't grab that. You jump here, and then you hold down right and jump, and you'll clear it like that, and that's really neat. If that's a little hard, you can just kind of run at it, jump over it, but you have to jump really late on the second one. I'm not as familiar with this one. And you just go right over it. Again, Heart Piece of Shame is bad. Doing cool jumps is cool. So don't do it.
If you can manage to do a kickflip layer there, then it's perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you're like jumping into it, you want to land like just jump from like here even, like just make sure that you land so that you have a good idea as to where to go, and then you can set yourself up. But just grabbing that, like even if you take a second to line yourself up, is better than having to deal with being, you know, oops.
That's 4 shames, by the way.
You've been counting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm not gonna let his ego inflate like a giant balloon. I'm gonna pop it every now and then.
We're just moving to the prairie.
Yeah, somebody gets the joke.
Yeah, there might be a message in the in that. So we're right here. We're just gonna menu to this because, and I didn't know that as a kid. You can blow that up with bombs. Bomb arrows are a developer intended thing.
Probably.
They're really strong. They're pretty cool. But unfortunately, we won't see any of them because the boss that's weak to bomb arrows, we just don't see that. So right here is Villa Skip. Villa Skip is kind of sad. There's this whole really cool castle that I want to spend hours on talking, but Matt's gonna
tell you to jump into the pit.
Yeah, so I can't talk about this, so I'm gonna fall into the pit, except not actually, unless I just got the bad frame rule. And then we're gonna menu buffer until we hear Link's falling animation. Let me see.
If you got it first frame, I swear to God.
Alpha?
No, I didn't.
Alpha?
If while you're falling into a pit,
Alpha?
as you can see, I'm now standing on the menu because that is a
think you can hear
walkable
us.
tile. Can you hear me?
No, your stream froze.
Oh. Is it frozen? Is it still frozen?
Oh yeah, it still is.
Is that on my end?
I believe so.
There we
I
go.
don't see any
It's
drop
back, it's
frames,
back.
or my OBS is running.
Okay, we're good.
We're good.
We're good.
Okay.
All this to say, Alpha needs to learn to listen to his co-commentators every once in a while. 'Cause maybe we have something important to say.
Okay, so let me go back then. So, 1, 2. You want to try and get like as close to the middle as possible. So you heard Link falling right there. And now I'm standing on the menu. The menu is a walkable tile. This is allowed in every category because nobody wants to go to Extra Fun Canlet Castle. It has a monkey and a moat. But anyway, this lets us get to the back of Richard's villa. So, you just kind of do those jumps. If you fall into this pit, because you mess up jumping, it's not really a big deal because you just slash your sword and you're right there. You can just do that, but right here, we go and dig up this, key. You need to see this text box. If you don't see this text box, everything is bad because, then this is just a golden leaf. That text box is what turns that into the slime key. And yeah, then you have to actually do Canlet Castle and get all the leaves so it will turn into the slime key. And that's not great. But anyway, so, this is Villa Escape. So you can kind of go over here. There's other ways to do this. This is the one that I know how to show off. You're going to kind of clip into this pit a little bit and then transition and hold down left. And I didn't quite clip into the pit enough. I like to exit and re-enter the screen because it makes retrying easier. So you just kind of get over there, you hold down left, you'll be clipped into this, and the game does not like you transitioning onto solid tiles, so it throws you down as quickly as possible. And you just kind of zip out. And that's the easy part of that.
We are being informed that we should probably point out that on this screen where we're doing the when we do the villa skip, we want to do the left bush because if we do the right one, it'll take us all the way down.
Oh yeah, if you do the right bush, as you can see, these bushes, they go straight down, and then it'll just drop you right here, and then you gotta go all the way back up and ride the slide again. You know, you gotta pick the right slide of the theme park to get to where you want to go.
Exactly, otherwise you just fall down to Horrorland or something.
So, actually, I didn't mention this earlier when I clipped into a key block and opened D1 from the side, but this one, you have to kind of charge your sword. You're going to clip into the back of this, and you're going to hold down left, and you'll just poke it from the back somehow. And then kind of jump
how. We know how. It's because Link has giant noodly arms.
Yeah, Link has giant noodly arms. It just reaches all the way around, puts it in. So this is a really hard puzzle that they solved in the remake by putting a giant picture of a pot right where I am standing. So yeah, you can defeat that wall with that. After you, I'll just redo that part just so I go fast instead of doing a joke. So you're gonna menu when you enter and jump to the, if I can. So right about there, you'll like jump up left, and then you'll menu, you'll switch to bracelet, you'll go back, pick up the pot, throw it at the wall, then you'll menu to sword, you'll jump up here, and you'll like charge your sword in some direction. That just leads you into fighting everything in this room. This room is kind of a mess if you do it weirdly. And I can show off some properties of it as well. So, like that like you take that room because you need this key. This is key cavern. You want every key. But like, for example, this room can just be very strange. As... Oh, damn, I didn't want to do that room perfectly! Okay, so these bombs have very interesting properties, and you want to be careful not to just constantly touch them with your sword, because you can play, like, keep alive with this guy forever as I'm messing it up. So as you can see, he's not blowing up for a while. But so you want to make sure not to just slash swords around. But yeah, so you grab that key, save and quit. This room has some Zols in it. Just drop them. And we're just jumping. Land on there. Go this way. We'll just come down here and do like a quick little super jump. That's pretty simple to get off. There's nothing too complicated about this dungeon. For this one, you're gonna come down here, you're gonna charge your sword, and then, like, right as you get to... put that a little far back.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna charge your sword, you're gonna wake that Zol up, you're gonna go down, and then you're gonna spin slash in order to take them all out. Those Zols pop out, and you grab that key. And that is gonna be basically the first part of the beginner route for this dungeon. That's gonna be the same for everybody. I'll do, I guess, let me think what I'll do for this. I'll do a very beginner safe strategy first. So, if you want to do all of the tricks in this dungeon, you can go through here, and you can grab a second key, and that's gonna skip a potential soft lockable moment, because you can just use a key here, you can use a key here, you can see the Zodongos. You can jump up, go over here. That key doesn't cost you too much time, you can go grab the boots. Or, if you don't want to get that key, you can charge your sword, do a spin slash super jump off of that. It's very quick movement. And clink off the Dodongo, get right past it. There's other ways to do that part of that room. So let me just do this. And so you can also just run in here, because lining yourself up is a little hard. And this is what happens, like, when this fails. Is you get stuck in this block, you can't get out, and you have to save and quit to get out. Like, sometimes, depending on the way you're trying to jump, like, that time I made it because he turned the other way, so the way my sword clanked off of him, that movement's a bit faster, but the spin slash is very consistent, as long as you actually clip into the wall.
Well, let's point out, it's not every day that you see the Dodongo manage to get up and stuck in the stairs. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was actually that was a fun one.
What is it doing?
If you're really worried about this trick, it's kind of hard because you have to do the dungeon normally-ish, or you can skip. Or if you don't like that trick, but you like the one that's coming up, you can, I guess, skip all of the keys and do something else. Do I still have 2 keys? Oh no, I didn't even go to that room on this part yet. So, yeah, then you just clip into this wall, you super jump over, if I can do that. Why am I... Oh, right, because I'm... So if you go too far, so as you can see, this is a corner tile. It is as big as a corner tile is. You can't super jump off of corner tiles. You have to do it off the walls. So if you think you're not getting a super jump, just double check to make sure you're probably not in a corner tile. So you grab the boots. And the boots are what's going to let us do the next trick, which is a lot scarier looking than it actually ends up being. So you'll just boots around, you'll come up here, and actually I mean to push this button this time. So, you're gonna go into this room, you're gonna hold this down, you're gonna diagonally boots jump at this wall, and basically boots give you some interesting properties. Although I have a million Zols in here, let me clear this out. Oh, okay, this is Piece of Power, so now we'll have cool music while we do this too.
Yeah, your movement speed's also increased.
So, when you have boots, you can do certain types of super jumps. I keep bonking into the wall, probably because my movement speed's different with the Piece of Power.
I literally just said that.
Yeah, I got. Sometimes you're really quiet for me, Matt. I keep turning you up. You told me not to turn you up.
Just
you lied
turn
to
him
me. Yeah.
Now, time to blow out Alpha's eardrums. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you can see, you jump at the wall, and then before you bonk, if you just you hold away from it, and then you just do the weapon, you super jump off of it. Same thing with the arrow. It's really, really easy to do. You just jump at the wall and hold a weapon in the opposite direction. It's not more complicated than that. It lets us do some pretty terrifying things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boots right here, jump at the wall, and sometimes this red soul really likes to be mean. But I just hold, I switch to shield and arrow, I just buffer up here, and then I'm right here.
Okay, what were
That's
the
a
inputs
pretty simple...
after you did the arrow shot?
Hang on.
Like,
One
what
second.
did you press to do that?
Shield.
Oh, I did nothing after the arrow shot. Hang on, I'll turn you up a little bit too.
I was
It's
just
really
leaning
one of
away
those
from my
things
microphone.
where we wish we had input viewers to show
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah, so I'm holding down left, I'm charging my boots. The red Zol decided at the start of the room, before I even went anywhere, it was gonna jump, which is kind of annoying. That happens sometimes. So you boot, and then what I'm holding is I'm holding right away from the wall, I'm holding the B button where my shield is, and I'm holding A out of this menu. So while the fade out is happening, I'm pressing all those buttons, and the Zol got too low, so it decided to get shot instead. That happens as well. It happens if you go slower, but yeah, I don't press anything after I do the super jump. It just, because of the properties, I just get bounced down here.
Oh, okay, so it's not even like directional inputs. That just happens.
Nope. Yeah,
Like
that just
magic.
happens. Yeah, it's very convenient, and that lineup is very nice. Now, this is you can see oh, there's stuff over here. If I go down here, this happens. And I don't even know where I
You
am.
made a mistake.
No. Okay, so this is Dungeon 4. We're not supposed to be here. This is something you have to be very careful of, because if I do a trick wrong, I will end up here. But I have to do it very wrong.
That was
but this
a
is
system transition, right?
This is a
Yes.
system transition. I wanted to show one off. Now I am in Dungeon 4. We will come back here later. So anyway, this room. This room is a bit tricky. So that Stelphos can do all sorts of things as he's running around, and we really don't like where he is. So as we're coming in, we're going to jump down here, and he gave us a very good pattern. He just ran at us. We shoot him with an arrow. We're done with dealing with him. It makes our lives a lot easier. Then we wait until these Zols jump at us. We jump straight down, and we want to land sort of right here, in between the arrows moving left and the arrows moving down. Because basically, the arrow's moving right and the arrow's moving down. What's going to happen here is while we stand still and charge our boots, basically the arrows will push us over, or will be on the down arrows, and then the down arrows will move us low enough so that we are clipped into the wall.
Alpha?
So I'm gonna get boot speed. I jumped really early, so it's a little hard to see. And then we're gonna do that same buffer out. I jumped way too early, actually. So go down here. See, this is...
Discord did a thing and we lost a few seconds there, so if you could...
Oh, oh, okay. How much do I have to say again?
You were in the middle of explaining the thing.
Okay. So I'll just start over. So we have the Stelphos. We're hoping that he gets into a position where we can just take him out, because it makes it easier. Menu to Feather and Boots. We wait for that Zol to jump at us. We want to get onto... I'll just do this part real quick. Okay, so this happens too. You can get out of that, and very conveniently, I shot that Zol into the pit rather than killing it, which means that the Zol is still alive when we come back here. That's very useful to know how to reset the trick. Is if you don't see the death animation, they don't die. If it doesn't complete like fully, like it will do like Actually, I can probably show it off with this. Come here, come here, come here. So it'll explode, and then right after you see the 4 sparks shoot diagonally out, you have like a frame, and then it's gone. If you don't see that last frame, the enemy isn't considered killed. That means something for pizza power routing, which doesn't matter for this category. But yeah. So now that the Stalfos is dead, I can slow this down. So my goal is to jump down here and get to right here, which will spawn the Zol that's here and the Zol that's over here at roughly the same time. They'll then jump at me, and I'll use that time to jump to right about here, and then start charging Boots to the left. And these conveyors will basically, by the time I get boot speed, will have pushed me to about right here, which means I'll be clipped into the wall. Then when I get to about here, I'll jump, open the menu, buffer bow shield out, and I'll bounce to the instrument. And again, this is a crazy trick. I do recommend it, but if it's not consistent, and by that I mean like if you can't get it like pretty quickly, I'm just gonna show you how to beat the dungeon instead, because that is much better than trying this. And again, there's safety in having heart containers. Slime Eye's not that bad of a boss. This doesn't save a ton of time. Well, it does save a ton of time, but if this is a really hard trick, so you just get to right here, pretend the Stalfos is out of the way. You'll have Boot, Feather. You'll jump there. You'll go here. I think I may have messed up my positioning. Yeah, I did. I could see it. I jumped too early. Let's try this again. This will be interesting. I don't know if this works. No. Let's try this again. I'm way too high here, so this won't work. Oh, no, it did, but I'm up here, and I can't transition down, or I will zip all the way down. And sometimes you can get bonked all the way down there as well. And that's no good. Your run is dead. For the sake of the race, you can save and quit out of there. So anyway, so I will
not
go
being
down...
nice to you, is he?
What? No, he's not.
being
This Jeff was being very mean to me today. So yeah, as they're jumping, jump here. Yeah, that other Zol, for some reason I feel like is jumping at a weird time. And is not in the position I want it to be. Okay, this time it should be okay. Okay, that was weird again. Why am I not getting this? Okay. So I can see the Zol jumping. Jump straight down. Okay, now we're fine. And bounce straight into this bell. That's dungeon. That's the whole thing. Now, if that trick is insane or impossible, don't worry, there are other ways to deal with that. So, I'll go back to here. I'll get the Zol off of me. You know, so we wasted an arrow doing something else. And we'll go back to, you know, the land of... So, I just realized I don't really have a good save for it, but basically, you would do this room, right here. You do, in fact, need both of those Zols. The first one is there to protect the top one from your arrow shot, while you bonk off the top of one. That is, in fact, what's happening. Is that because the other one is in the air at that certain point, it will tank the arrow. Otherwise, you will punch the Zol you're trying to bonk off of into the abyss. You will miss the trick. But yeah, so we'll be here. This would be before you get boots. Oh, I picked up a Guardian Acorn. That wastes time. No, it's fine. So you'll come in here. You'll, this would be. Oh no, this is a piece of power actually. So yeah, actually, you would pick up piece of power if you're killing all the enemies in this dungeon and doing it normally. Actually, wait, where's my last saving quit point? Let's see if I can just start the dungeon from the beginning. No, okay, so we'll just go back to here. I should have checked that earlier. But yeah, so this dungeon, routed out, you pick up piece of power around there, because you'll be killing, like you do this room, you kill all the enemies in here, you kill all the enemies in the other room, you killed all the enemies in the overworld while heading over here, or well, Bow Wow did. And you just do a lot of spin slashes. You drop all these guys to open this door, and normally, if you kill all the enemies kind of on your way over to here, you'll get piece of power in this room, which actually makes this Dongo thing very consistent. So you'll grab this key, right here, and then you'll head up here, you'll do a second Dodongo skip, which, by the way, is much easier with piece of power. When you do it, you'll grab that, and then you'll super jump over here, you'll grab the boots, you'll head back. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do the one trick that I named, because we realized we didn't name it, called the French press on that screen. You'll come down here, and then you're just going really fast. You have piece of power here, you can just jump over that 2-tile gap. You grab the boss key. And again, this is if that trick up there is too scary, so like we haven't done any of that lineup. It's definitely slower, but this is, normal way of dealing with the dungeon. Those respawn. You have to do Dodongo skip again. Then you come down here, you set up a flock clip, you jump into that, and you hold down left, so that you clip into here. It is very important. You do not go back. I didn't know that guy could shoot through that wall. It is very important. You do not, go back up these stairs once you go down, because if you go back up there, you are soft locked. There are two ways to do this room. There's the safe way. Actually, let me... Oh, you know what? I do have another thing. So this is the safe way where you bonk that, and now I remember what I did. I even made a whole other thing. Or you can go down here, and there's a weird property to the boots, where you charge that, and you can jump while you're midair.
Yeah, it's what do they call them? It's,
also, these spikes are bad. Yeah, but anyway, so I did remember I actually put a save right here, which would be, this is when I cleared the things out the first time, so I can actually show how this is meant to be done all in one go, which is good. I did think ahead, I just forgot I did. Oh, I grabbed a Guardian Acorn. I don't want this if I'm trying to get piece of power, because it blocks the piece of power from spawning.
Remember exactly how this is supposed to be done.
Shh.
Yep, you're supposed to load a save state right there in the speedrun, too.
Yeah. Shh. Okay. So normally we'd have piece of power if I killed some enemies, so I'll go back here and grab it just for, yeah, okay, I was one short. Because I, didn't kill some enemies at the top of the stairs. You would just spin slash the Zols. Because there's, like, a lot of Zols.
Moonwalking
so,
required.
Go up here.
Also, I was told when we were planning this that Matt would be here specifically to make fun of Alpha for anybody who
I'm the one who said that.
Yeah. For
been
anyone
nothing but helpful, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna be a gremlin for at least 5 minutes. And you know what? Alpha can take it. He's a big boy. He can't do dungeons right, but he can do this.
It's not rando, so I didn't find anything fun. So yeah, we go down here, we grab the boss key, we skip the text, we go back here, we make sure that sword is on the A button, because otherwise it's like infinitely slower. Just ask anybody, I promise that's true. It's not, but don't do it.
You know, I'm just gonna let your shame of that part live on itself.
Yeah, I got 3 souls on myself. I'll block clip. I'll go down here. And then, you know, boots are good. 2D sections are great. I like 2D sections. Here's another ladder drop. That one saves a lot of time. And then these guys are annoying, like really annoying. If you're low on health, you can grab that extra that floating heart. And then we move on to actually fight Slime Eye. And you can definitely see how this is slower. I do a menu there to skip something. So as you can see, Slime Eye has weird properties. Where if you hit him wrong... Yeah.
This is gonna be a recurring theme for this game, with things eyes don't open.
Yeah. So I did a spin slash there at the end. Slime Eye's a very, very easy fight with Beast of Power, but that beats the dungeon normally. And that's just how you would do that without doing this trick. Otherwise, you're doing this trick, and you'll have an extra heart container. So there's safety in taking that, you know, 1.5 minute, 2-minute detour. It might save you at the end. So this trick again.
He did it! Congratulations!
And then very fast.
Very quick now.
And it feels like we've taken, like, quite a bit of time to go over the first 3 dungeons, but spoilers, like, this is half the run of these dungeons.
I mean, it's going to be... my understanding is it's just going to be a lot of the same tricks throughout the rest of the run, right?
That's all Link's
for a good
Awakening
chunk,
is.
but also the rest of the dungeons are very, very, very short in comparison.
Okay.
Like, Link's Awakening speedruns are all, can you do a super jump? Can you do a bomb trigger? Can you sling your sword? Can you use bombs properly?
Yeah, and then this one lets you super swim.
Yeah.
Are we going to pause it?
I guess we could pause here. I guess this would be a good time to take a little break, maybe.
I was making a bad joke, but yeah, we could take the break here, too.
Yeah, I mean, we just finished a dungeon. We have... You know, 2 of our 3 instruments. We're an hour and a half in. This won't take, you know, remember we're about halfway through.
You should remember where you're at and what you should go do while we're standing still for.
Oh yeah, you know, while we're standing here and you know about to take a little bit of a break. This is the part of the run where, you know, if you're really feeling spicy, you feel like you're just gonna win anyway, like really hard. Just come down here. You can hang out with everybody's good friend Richard. And you wait here for 2 minutes until Tataka's song plays. So this is a good segue into a break.
Wait, what?
Surrounded by frogs.
Yeah, it's an Easter egg in this game. Also, when you rob his backyard, he decided he doesn't want to go to Candlelit Castle anymore, so he just moves away from the thing that blocks it.
I mean,
but yeah.
If we go to a break, will it still be doing the thing when we come back, or do we need to wait to see the thing?
Oh, we might have to wait 2 I mean, you could just wait for 2 minutes while this happens.
Okay, so well, let's talk about things before we go to break, so we can let this happen. So for people who are confused, tuned in partway through, this is a tutorial for the next game in Speed Seasons. You go to speedseasons.com to see more information about what Speed Seasons is. It's an open series of racing designed to get people into speedrunning, especially games that they haven't played before. So we're kind of going over a beginner tutorial of how to do this category. We're about halfway through. And of course, if you tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna have Time Capsule. It's a show about speedruns of games that were released in the same year. And they're gonna be showing off Pikmin and Shenmue 2, I believe. It's usually a good time. If you're watching on YouTube, you can check us out live at twitch.tv/GDQ. The short form URL does work. You don't have to type the entire thing out. And for people who are watching on Twitch right now, we would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing, as Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. Your support helps us keep doing this daily content, where GDQ Hotfix is just a series of showcases about speedrunning and speedrunning related content, pretty much almost every day of the month between our large events at this point. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We are going to be taking a quick break here after we show this thing. I don't know how long I talked. But while we're on break, we just encourage everybody, take an opportunity to get up, stretch, refill your water, take care of yourselves. We like to encourage wellness breaks here on Hotfix. And I don't know how close that was to 2 minutes.
I don't know.
I feel like it should have happened by now.
I feel like that's always the case with Tataka's song.
It always comes up just after you expect it.
Yeah, it's...
We're showing
know,
off
I see.
an Easter egg right now, so we're waiting for the Easter egg to happen, and then we're going to go on our break. So I was...
Hang on.
Alright, let me turn it up.
Okay, there we go.
That's it?
It is, in fact, a bit over 3 minutes. Alpha did not stall for enough time. Congratulations, you can't count.
That was for you, Railkun. So you just watch these cute frogs hop around for 3 minutes.
I thought something was going to happen on the screen, like something would change visually.
Oh no, you just get the
it's
song.
music.
It's a happy song.
Okay.
All right, you can cut the break now.
We're going to
This
go to
is-
a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes, so stay tuned.
Good grief.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Community Spotlight. We're still here with Alpha and Phantom Matt helping on commentary as we're going through this tutorial for Link's Awakening DX, no system transition or wrong warp. This is for Speed Seasons, and of course, since we're coming back from the break, why don't you give us another quick rundown on what Speed Seasons is for people who missed the start of the show?
Yeah. So Speed Seasons is a get yourself speedrunning style tournament. I announce a game, and then everybody has 2 weeks to learn it. The day after we announce it, we do this big tutorial, and then 2 weeks later on a Sunday, everybody races the game on Speedruns Live. You earn points towards a playoff bracket, where you'll compete to win and earn prizes that I am providing. Personally, it's going to be a great time. It's a lot of fun. It's really more of just an excuse to play more video games and to just try things out because you know that at worst your investment is going to be 2 weeks, and then maybe another game will come along if you're just interested in getting into any of these games because I've picked a platformer, I picked a shooter. This is now a Zelda game. I'm not picking the same genre because one, really good speedrunners need some versatility in the games. I think it helps a lot in just picking up new things, and two, it's just mass appeal. The races are open to everybody. I heavily encourage everyone to join. I put a lot of effort into making sure we had great everything, but circumstances happened and I ended up being the runner for this game. I'm just doing the best I can. Definitely having some fun with it.
It's a good tutorial so far, and of course we have Matt here to help.
Yeah.
As much as I want to make fun of you, you are doing really well.
I love you too, Matt. Anyway.
Skip a boss.
Which, so I guess we can get back into the tutorial.
Yeah.
So I walked back from memeing out Tataka's song back to the start of D3. You'll have boots and feather equipped. Just after you beat Slime Eye, when you enter the next room, if you do go beating the boss route, when the door closes behind you, use that time to menu to feather, just because you skip the door lag and you do that menu anyway. So you'll jump over here, and then when you get to here, you'll menu to sword. This is just you're gonna need sword anyway, and it saves just the littlest bit of time right here, because you just slash your sword through that transition, and then you can... Well, I messed it up. Let me try and do it again. Then you just boots through there. And then you're just kind of going along. You're going to go through here. I'm at 3.5 hearts. It's kind of where I want to be. I don't want to take any more damage. Oh, I took damage. I'm taking more damage now. You want to be at very low health, and this is like the first time I've never seen Bow Wow not just immediately murder everything that's touched me or I'm trying to touch. Because we're doing a trick up here called Walrus Skip. And it's basically we're activating a cutscene we're not supposed to be able to. But because of the properties of the cutscene, we can't regain full control of Link. Basically, as the cutscene starts, it'll happen, a text box will show up, and then after that text box, if we're still on that screen, it takes away Link's ability to move. However, before that happens, it takes away Link's ability to use their buttons. So, there are two ways of resetting that. One of them is to enter any transition. Like go into a cave or something. The other one is to die. And because if we do what we need to do in the desert afterwards, we would want to not be in the desert because there's an owl who talks forever and then hoots at us and leaves. It's very slow, so we want to take the death route. There is a convenient cave, but this trick is something that you can soft lock, so just as a precaution, you're going to enter this house anyway. Everybody, just save and quit right here, because, think about it. When's the last time you save and quit? If you're doing everything else optimally, the last time you save and quit was when you beat D2. I have watched tournament races end due to a soft lock not related to the walrus, but in other categories, very bad things can happen around here. And it's just like, oh, they're back at D2. And their run is over. They tried to go for, and that's in the warpless category, for the original game. But anyway, so you'll exit there, and I'll just get to showing it off. You'll boots down here, and then get over to here, get to this transition. There is a very, very, very safe way of setting this up, where you drop a bomb, and then you hold down bomb and just hold right. And through this entire cutscene, you're just gonna hold left. Like, don't even think about other buttons, don't look at them, just hold left.
And
If you're not holding left...
controller aside from left.
Yeah, just hold down, just don't push anything unnecessary. You were holding left, and the walrus is gone, and I could try to push all my other buttons, nothing happens. If you're really cool, I guess you'll menu to bombs here, and you can mash them through, although I don't know if that will, just because of my positioning, if that'll actually end up working, because when you go through those transitions in that way, your subpixel is a little dependent. Like, some people like do these weird movements to not mess this up. Like, yeah, see, I went too far to the right because of how I did it that way, and now the bunny shows up, and I am locked into this screen. Like, I can't move anymore. I'm stuck, because basically, the cutscene gives Link control again when all actors have left the screen that aren't Link. But we have this dog called Bow Wow. So if you didn't have Bow Wow here, everything is great. In fact, in the 100% category, you have Marin here. You bomb trigger rather than talking to the walrus because it's faster, because she leaves from this side. So again, and I can't... and there's also this way that you could do it, which if I did this right, this will show the other form of soft locking on the walrus. And I really hope I did this right. So that is dropping a bomb, noticing, oh, my bomb trigger wasn't good enough, so I had to mash another one, so you had to buffer through the transition. You can buffer during the transition for some of these triggers, and it's fine. And oh no, I went too far to the right, huh? I don't think I've had that happen. I usually don't go to that. Let me... Okay, well, I'll just do it normally. I don't have to show off the other soft lock. The point is, the very, very, very safe way is just drop a bomb, press your menu, right, and then you are exactly the distance away. Like, you will... I don't think I've ever soft locked doing this exact technique. And
It's also worth noting, I don't know if you mentioned it, you are bonking against the wall to get yourself in.
Oh yeah, I'm
You're
using my
flush
boots
against
to
transition.
line up against the trigger. And then, yeah, there's no walrus here. Sometimes, if you do those other transitions, the walrus will still be here, even though you went through the whole cutscene and didn't get stuck, because whatever happened, your subpixel was bad. But yeah, so I have no buttons. I could enter a cave, or I could just run into this thing For whatever reason, your iframes are like half when you touch that thing, probably because it's not an enemy, it's just environmental damage. It's the only thing like that in like the whole game. But yeah. So now that we have that, we're gonna go real fast over this way. We have our 3 hearts, you know, we're at 75% health at this the game. And we're gonna go up here to it's really just a sacrifice pit for arrows. It says some words at you that you can't read. If you're really cool, you can skip those text boxes, but that's hard. But if you put basically the mini boss here, memes aside, the mini boss here always actually can I? Okay, no, it's gonna fall. I'll just reset that. I just wanted to show off that room and explain it. So this is the other place you would go if you were trying to reset it because you have access to it. But so the mini boss's hitbox exists before it even shows up right here, like where I'm standing. And it has 8 health. 2 arrows do that much damage. So yeah, you just kinda walk here, put your arrows right into his face. You can hear him die, but you can't really hear the death sounds because he didn't show up. And then when you see this text, just press all your buttons for save and quit. And you're right back here. And now we have the key for Dungeon 4. So that warp that we grabbed, you know, like an hour ago, we're gonna take this warp down here in Animal Village. And fun fact, when those warps are on the screen, every pit on the screen is one of those warps. I only know this from someone making a crazy version of this game, which just put pits all over those screens, and it makes it very annoying to traverse this. So make sure you go left and open up Dungeon 4. It's very, very important. Also, at some point, menu over to Feather, because we have some stuff we have to do over here, although you don't have to menu Feather depending on how you're going to do this room. So there's a really fast way to do this called the shack jump. Basically, there are these interactable blocks that if you get up against, kind of mess with your subpixel if you're pressing up against them on the wall, and they let you do an unclipped super jump. It's very convenient. Yeah, that's it. It's a pretty straightforward thing. So my movement for this room is I'm going to be holding up left. I'm going to be jumping, and then I'm going to be jumping again, holding down left up until I'm against the block, and then I'm just going to be pressing up once I'm like after the apex of my jump, and I'll just super jump right over. So let's do that. So I'll do this, then I turned. Hang on. Let's do that again. So you don't want to be turning it. If you turn, you end up messing up the whole thing. Why am I doing this wrong? Let me... So yeah, you'll get to here, and then that. It's a very... Yeah, oh, I know what I'm doing.
4 tries to get into Dungeon 4. Come on, Alpha.
There. Yeah, I just wasn't clearing the thing because it was pushing the wrong button that I fall up there, because that's where I decided to stop. So if this is too hard because, you know, you're goofing up it like the whole time, you know, you just keep doing this, like you're pressing buttons out of order, you don't have momentum because you weren't holding things through a transition, you would have feather swords still equipped here. You can just kind of do that and jump, like you just clip into the wall and just jump straight at it. Which, yeah, so I'll just do, or you can just do that, and then you boot over here, and then you're at Dungeon 4. Nice and easy. So this dungeon is one of the ones where we don't have to menu if you have Boots Feather equipped. So you just read the text. You go over here to grab more bombs, because you probably need them, unless you bought an extra set of bombs early in the game and you're really healthy on bombs. Again, Dungeon 7 is very bomb hungry. And, yeah, so we're gonna clip into the wall, like, right here. It's a little hard, because it just makes it a little easier. Dungeon 4 is lots of movement. Just jump over here. Bomb arrow this. I'm really high on bombs. You see a key. Fall into the water to just instantly reclip back into the wall. And then we jump up here. That jump you can do basically all the time. I did it as a kid. you have a ton of control in the air. You can even do that without boots. You can just go up and you'll make the jump. So you'll unlock this. This room you're likely to take damage. It's kind of a mess. But then we have this trick that we only can see once in this run. It's called Jesus jumping. And basically, in order to fix a set of glitches between Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening DX, mainly the ability to spawn infinite sounds to prevent everything on the screen from loading in the next room, they changed how the menu buffer works. So it's a lot like I want to say like chunkier. In like it's not like this quick slide up. It's this big fade in. Because of that, we have the ability to buffer by 1 frame. And it gives us things like Villa Skip. It also gives us the ability to jump on water. So I believe I'm all the way up against the left wall. And as you can see, I see that splash animation as I'm buffering with Link. So I can hold left, and I wasn't actually all the way up against that wall. So I'll try that again. And you can select buffer to buffer by 4 frames. I knew how high I was, so I felt comfortable doing that.
It's also worth noting, you can hear the splash.
Oh yeah, you can hear it as well.
When you see the splash.
Yeah, so that was 2. Why am I not up against the wall? I'm just gonna run at it and do it instead of booting. For whatever reason, sometimes boots doesn't get me. Yeah, now I definitely know I'm up against it because I can't see Link's nose anymore. So when you transition down there, you end up on the wall. That saves 2 seconds. If you end up transitioning, and you're in the water, like let's pretend like this is my life. I would just open the save and quit menu, and you can buffer a jump out of the water, and it's really safe. So this room can be an absolute mess depending on where it wants to put. Oh, that was a bad pattern. What is this?
This is you're not jumping.
No, I just mean but the pattern is bad. But yeah, you clear that room, you just run up here, you grab the flippers are broken, and then you save and quit out, because if we complete Dungeon 4 right now, and we absolutely can complete Dungeon 4 right now, I'll open up the map, if you go, basically, south of here, like south of this line, a ghost will spawn. And there are 2 things that prevent the ghost from spawning. Well, actually, there's one thing that prevents the ghost from spawning, is that the flag for the level 2 bracelet kind of occupies the same thing. Unfortunately, we don't need the level 2 bracelet, so we're never going to go south once we beat Dungeon 4. So Dungeon 4 comes a lot later. And instead, we're heading on to a dungeon that there's no safety for it. You're going to learn how to skip it. And I say that because, done extremely optimally, the dungeon takes 5 minutes. The world record in the no woob category, TGH, it's like a 4.5 minute or a 5 minute dungeon 5, and he does it extremely well. And that's for the no wrong warp out of bounds category. I think my split for dungeon 5 is 49 seconds long. So that should tell you how much of a time save this one is. This dungeon is also incredibly beginner unfriendly, because it has very, very, very stupid boots-related jumps. Not to say that I'm not about to do a set of stupid boots-related jumps, but yeah. So we're headed into Catfish Maw. And this dungeon is... It's a big one. So, gonna make sure to do that. So basically, when you enter this dungeon, actually let me start that over. So you'll jump up to the... Oh, I have to reset it because the timer for the that text showing up is off. And so you're gonna pause about there. You're just gonna immediately buffer a jump. You're gonna switch to Feather Sword. And then right here, you're gonna get your sword out. And really, this room, you're just gonna kind of hope for the best. This room just is probably the worst room in the game that you have to do. There's one room that's worse. It has horse heads in it, and Abimos.
Look,
it has horse heads and Abimos and conveyor belts, but you never have to go there ever. So you just kind of hope with the Helmosaurs. You can like release spin slashes and hold the direction that they're facing as you release, and you'll just kill them if I do it right. maybe I'm not doing it right anymore, or I've forgotten how to do it. But it's your best chance is to just kind of go to the left, hope for the best. So this area, like, just get through it like there. This is the big skip in this dungeon. This is the first version of it. This is the one I showed off. This is the absolute fastest way to do this, and it is a very, very, very specific setup. And I'm going to try to do my best to show this off. So as you come in, you're going to go up here, you're going to stab these two things out, and actually, and you're going to go right to about here, like a little bit south of, this and right here. And you're going to wait until this guy stops moving above your head. Like a pixel early. And you're going to switch to Boots Feather. You're then going to buffer your you're gonna boots. You're gonna touch the wall. You're gonna gain boot speed. And you're gonna aim down, and that is very, very, very fast. When you see Link touching the wall, you have to press down basically immediately and wait like a frame, if at all, and you are running. So I have boot speed. I'm going to equip Sword and Shield, and out of this menu. I messed it up and I soft locked here, as you can see. I might be able to recover this because I was busy trying to explain it. Okay, I was able to actually recover that. Sometimes you get stuck there and you are a little screwed. But I'm going to buffer sword, shield, and up out of the menu. I'm going to keep holding shield and then press left and slash out of the menu. And I will bonk off the Stalfos in that order. So wait for him to get to there. Get to this, and then I will. I didn't get boot speed. Sometimes it's hard because there's like an audio cue, but if I hear the audio cue for boots, it'll be too late.
What did you do to get out of the crystal? Like, how did?
Oh, I did a super jump off the wall. I was clipped in just enough.
Okay.
Sometimes you are not clipped in enough, and you get out of the crystal by pressing the good old save and quit button.
Yeah, just curious in case people wind up in that situation. Like, what do you do to see?
Yeah,
if you can get out?
and also when you were doing that super jump, make sure to slash your sword a lot, because you can also land in the next crystal over in the corner, and then you're soft locked again.
It's not a fun trick.
It's not. As I'm trying to do it while explaining it, it's like really hard to do any parts of this slowly. So yeah, so as you can see, I bonked really quickly there. So let's get this down. The other trick is much easier. Okay, there we go. So that's the full input set. Where did I last save?
Not here. You should probably save and quit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I was double checking. It was at the start of Catfish Mall. So that is that trick. I will press. Yeah, I'll just save and quit here. Because I should have made I should have made a state later in the dungeon. I should have made it like right before that room, because that would have been very convenient. So I'll just cover this dungeon again. I probably didn't actually do that because there wasn't a thing going on there. That's a much better version of this room, other than the fact that Keys decided to go all over the place. This room also, if you have problems with it, you can waste time and switch to boots. Oh, I didn't even switch to boots. But this is really easy. I just wanted to make that clear. Like, that's really easy. If that room, like, is a problem for you, that's a really good safety. And it's only like 2 seconds slower. So I'll just show this off one more time. So you go up here, stab, stab. You hold your sword through that second thing. You don't want to slash again, otherwise you'll hit the Stalfos and you'll mess up the trick. So do that, because then you know you're in the right position. And then buffer shield, sword up, out, and then left shield immediately. And you get the trick. And it's easy. Now, if that's impossible... Yeah, easy. The other trick's easier. So if that's impossible, and like you can't do that, well, you have to come here anyway. Because we're gonna play more of this dungeon. I absolutely would recommend doing this other version of the trick, although this other version of the trick has a much larger potential for soft lock. So you're going to push those keys in. You're going to grab that key. You're going to head back to the start of the dungeon. Thankfully, you don't have to deal with this room anymore because you just open this door. So here is a good place to look at your resources. If you are low on bombs or arrows, like I mean really low on arrows, like say you wasted a lot of them doing something earlier, you could take a safety over here. There are other arrows to pick it up, like at the end of the run there's like 20 arrows immediately adjacent to each other. As I just clank off of everything.
That's good, because you're not dying. Now you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so they're only checking the way that you're facing. But if you kill those Helmosaurs and you come up here, you can grab these arrows. If you're like crazy low on bombs because you kept failing like Walrus Skip or something like that and you barely made it, there are some bombs right here. And that's important because you're gonna need 3 bombs and 3 arrows. Normally when I get here, I have like 4 arrows and not a ton of bombs. I do not have the bombs to spare for this. So we have Master Stalfos right here. So you're just gonna spin slash him right there. There's and you're gonna hit him 3 times. You can hit him a 4th time, but that it's a little slow because he dies for like forever. Like he just explodes.
I have a
You'll go to.
I have a dumb question for you, Alpha.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who haven't played this game or have only played it once don't know you can do bomb arrows. So what is the requirement to actually fire a bomb arrow?
Oh, the requirement for a bomb
at the
arrow.
same time.
Yeah, you just push the buttons within 4 frames of each other.
Okay.
Or like the same time. It's a very, very simple thing. It's a holdover from this game was originally supposed to be a Game Boy port of A Link to the Past. And the original designs for Link to the Past had bomb arrows. Link was supposed to be able to equip on A and B, but then Miyamoto said that Link should always have his sword equipped. So rather than using the L and R buttons for anything useful, you only got to equip one item.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it out because I just remembered that a lot of people, when they see people go, wow, I didn't know you could
I
do
forgot
that.
about it. Oh, also, here are Cheep Cheeps. You can jump on their heads. It doesn't do anything, but it's kind of cool. So this is the other. We're getting to the other one. This room's kind of stupid. This room's annoying. And I have some Scoob muscle memory that tells me to take a bunch of damage because you pick up Piece of Power in this room, and this boss has additional, like a lot of additional iframes if you have Piece of Power. So this is where you set this up, and this is a bit tricky and a little bit dangerous. So first, you're going to super jump down here. Now you notice I am very against the transition. If I go down, well, my run is over. So I have to jump, hold down, then super jump there. Now I'm in this wall. Then I have to super hop-ish. So, because I'm not quite enough in the wall to, like, ledge hop down, so I have to super jump, but I have to do it really low. So I had to get really, really low, and now I'm not quite, like, I'm not at the edge of the wall anymore. Then, if I do a max height super jump, I will land up here. And this is important. So then I go over here, and I need to jump up into this corner, like the top right-hand corner. If I transition up, well, my run is over. This is out of bounds, or this is a system transition. It's not a legal room. For the sake of the race, because this doesn't cost like or start any time, that's gonna be okay, but it will invalidate your run. And then this is the slime eel skip. So this is a lot less daunting than it actually looks. So you're gonna line yourself up with the bottom, with the bottom row right here with Link's Shadow, and then you're gonna use this as a pendulum, and you're just gonna kind of count. It's gonna go like here, 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 and here. When it's swinging back the second time, and it's about here, you're gonna super jump at it, and you're gonna hold up. If you don't hold up, we'll get to that in a minute. But if you do that, you go straight to the instrument. That's great. That's a really easy skip. If you don't do that and you do something silly, Like, let me see if I can put myself into a position where that won't work. That happens.
Whoa.
And obviously that wastes a piece of time.
What the heck?
Yeah, you just drop down.
Yeah, so, and that's, you have to be holding, because boss rooms have weird properties. If I am not holding up when doing that... Oh, also, that's how you know that you transitioned wrong, is that the slime eel will spawn with funky colors, which is actually one of the reasons why that is considered a system transition rather than a filler room. So, yeah, and this is a very consistent way for it to jump there. When it's there, hold up, go here, and okay, so this is important. So the tail is here, it's hitting us. Try and take some damage from it. And I say that because you can die in this cutscene. And that is faster than letting the cutscene play out. So, it's coming around. It's coming around. Is it gonna get us? And oh no, we died. That's a good thing.
No.
Yeah, that's a good thing because I can't. You can't see it here. You have the Dungeon 5 instrument.
And I quote from Alpha yesterday, "Man, I really hope I only die twice in this run."
Yeah, he will. Yeah, I mean, hey, I wasn't going for that trick. But yes. So, just to reiterate, because it's pretty easy, and it's kind of RNG whether or not you get it. I guess, can you skip this text if you just go in this way? Just menu here. Oh no, you have to wait for the doors to close.
How much time does it save? Is it worth like tanking extra hits from the tail before you grab the instrument to guarantee that
yeah.
happens?
Just throw your body at it. But yeah, this is what happens when you go to the wrong transition. And oh yeah, you can also get zipped all the way down here, and then you run super dead. And I think the timing is actually different, maybe, if because I did the right timing there, and it just zipped me all the way down there. So. Hold up. And then, yeah, this time I didn't get the tail. So, yeah.
So if you see the tail, just take a bunch of damage from it. You'll save time on the cutscene.
Yeah, just don't die to the tail before you touch the instrument.
Yes.
That'd be really embarrassing. It'd be like if you decided to play Mambo's Mambo in front of the instrument before picking it up, which happened in a tournament race.
Nobody has done that before.
Nobody lost a race to someone who did that.
Are you talking about yourself here, Alpha?
No, Matt lost a race to someone who did that.
To my defense on that, the guy who I was racing had a time that was 10 minutes faster than me.
Yeah.
So
and I was in second place at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're out of Catfish Mall. If you did the weird bump, you'd have Boots Feather. If you did that, then you'd have Boots Feather. Jump down here. Get here. I'm gonna make this a point. Even if you don't do it for the rest of the run, every time you're in the water for basically the rest of the run, put Boots on A. Because we're about to do something called Super Swimming, which is an incredibly easy, extremely broken glitch that we can exploit.
This is the only run category where we are allowed to do this.
It's basically because of how busted this is, and like there's arguments to be made because of our out of bounds rules. Like, well, why don't we allow it in Dungeon 4? And the answer is I wasn't clipped into the wall. So it's basically like you're doing a super jump. Like I'm clipping into a wall, and then oh, here's a jumpable ledge, and I hold down the A button. And I'm holding towards the wall, and then I hold down the A button, I press it, and then I press away from the wall. And now I can walk over everything. It should be noted, if I transition down while super swimming, I crash the game. Do not transition down. And we do this here because you can just walk up here. Also, fun fact, the rapids don't affect you while you're super swimming, so you just hang out in rapids.
Pause.
Yeah, there's not enough pause.
Yeah, I can do some buffers.
You had like 2 pauses. It's fine.
Yeah, but so you can't enter caves or houses, but pits, like holes in the ground, water, floor effects, those still affect me. To get out of a super swim, you just jump, because basically, because you're in the water, it's like, oh, you're falling down a ledge. When did you land? Because when you land, will take away your ability to go through everything. But because you're in the water, you don't land. But jumping will, give you a landing effect. So now we're in Dungeon 7 backwards. It is very important that you don't save and quit, because you'll go to the start of the dungeon. I will show how to recover from that. It is not that hard, but it is slow. But, so, now we have horse heads. I'm going to explain the manipulation for horse heads. It's very, very simple. You just keep crying until they feel bad for you. And that's 2 tries. It is a 25% chance, and it is totally random. So right here, if you're probably lower on ammo or something like that, just go grab these. Those are the fastest like arrows to get, other than one of the sets in D8. And then you'll run over here, you'll equip sword, because it makes this a little easier. You can do like a naked super jump setup, but clipping into a wall and then backwards jumping like this repeatedly is pretty slow. But you do moonwalk against the wall, so that's kind of neat. But, so you get to here, and you'd have Boots Bracelet the second you do that, and then you get to see Horse Heads number 2, and again, just cry and feel bad, and they open up every time. Perfect. They are vicious and they are unforgiving. So then you're going to run up against this wall because it kind of clips you in perfectly. And you know what? Yeah, we'll do this right here. So I'm going to show off something that I don't recommend. Nobody recommends this. This is
a recurring
This
theme.
is the 10 seconds you are trying to, when you are trying to squeeze blood from a stone, this is the trick you do. It is absolutely not worth it, and I didn't show it off yesterday because it is a one-shot trick. This is, oh, that's funny. This is, skipping Facade. So, this is a pixel-perfect setup. I believe I'm on the right line. I'm gonna buffer that out. I am a pixel 2. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to slash this. He's gonna say words at me. I'm just going to try and get this a couple times and then move on to the actual tutorial. But, so then I'm going to switch to shield. Okay, wait. I've been doing that mistake a lot recently. What did I do? Hang on. I pressed the button wrong. Okay. So then you get here and... Oh, wait, am I...
Are you stuck?
Okay, no, I wasn't stuck in the corner.
Okay.
So, you can skip Facade that way. I'll show you what happens when this goes wrong now, if I can. Probably won't take too long. The setup is I'm waiting for that tile to basically become his nose. And then I jump, and then I super jump at the end. But there is a way for this to go wrong. So even if you're like, oh, this trick is kind of easy, right? If I don't hold any buttons, that happens.
Oh. Okay.
So you have to hold up. Don't do it, but if you're feeling really, really, really spicy, you can set it up in a manner that, you won't lose too much time on it. So I guess we'll do horse heads again. Again, soft crying. See, it knows. They know. Like, if you're having a good run, that's the best time to world record on horse heads. But yeah, so Facade is a joke. But you can save a theoretical 10 seconds on him. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. Under no circumstances is that trick worth it. That is the last 10 seconds you save. Because there is always something else you can improve on. Not that.
I'm rather bitter that I've been making all these, in my mind, excellent quips, but I didn't notice that I was muted until just now.
Okay, so anyway, the actual setup for the dungeon is basically the same. You would boots over here, then you would switch to Feather Bomb. And you would do an unclipped super jump, because it does save a menu here. And then you run over here, you drop a bomb. And then, you heard the damage confirm. You heard the damage confirm. You can get 3 bombs in on Facade before he gets to do anything. Which is one of the reasons why going for that trick is, like, kind of a bigger risk than necessary. If you can bash 60 times a second, you can hit all 3 of those early ones, but you'll still, because of how you have to set up, you can't hit the 3rd one. I tried this. So right here, you'll menu to just, I don't know, boots or something like that, or just... If you have to menu after you do the super jump, you should menu to boots, bombs. There's some fun things in that room. In instrument rooms, you can see, like, bombs, like, explode in rainbows, and your puff from your, boots, the dust kick up, is also rainbows.
My favorite part
So,
of
yeah.
the run is when we dunk and double dunk on the coral triangle.
Yeah, so yeah, you can do that, but that's Facade. I don't really think anybody needs to see any more of D6. So this is the end of D6. This is actually, there's two ways to do this trick. One of them is another one of those sub-pixel manipulation things that I did earlier with the D2 setup. This one is a bit harder, but there is a backup if you mess it up. So basically, you just run down here. You're trying to be very careful with your movements. You're going to slash your sword as you go over. Then you're going to jump up against this ledge. And then near the bottom, you're going to hold right, release your sword, and hold down left. And let's see if I get that. And am I in the wall? No, I wasn't in the wall. So, this is pretty hard to do. I am not great at it, so I didn't do it yesterday. But I'll give it one more try. But this is basically the crux of the trick, is you're just doing this. Oh, I may have messed up my subpixel, I'm not sure. Yeah, so if you're not going full speed, you won't get the jump, and you can still mess up your subpixel. And the sword release is very important, because otherwise you just go straight into the ground. Or you'll like slide off. But anyway, if you mess up your subpixel, there's a really easy backup. You just go up to this key block, and am I not in the wall? Oh man, so just get up here, hold up and left, and you see I've clipped into the wall now. I go down to here again, and then I just do a very low super jump. I don't know. Am I not clipped? Okay, I was clipped into the wall. I guess I was just going too late. So yeah, you just come up here, you hold up left at that. I recommend this, it is not much slower. And then, I walked a little too far. Because some of the super low super jumps feel really weird. Because as you can see, like, it looked like I was... It looks like I jumped after I landed, so they're a bit wonky. So yeah, and then just I guess I'm leaving the clip into the wall, which is a shame. This should not be that hard. Come up here. Just do this. Come on.
Come on, Alpha, you can do
Okay, yeah, just hop there and like lightly tap right. You'll get the 1 pixel movement you need to fall into the water, and then... Wow, I didn't super... That was weird. I didn't super swim.
Same.
Oh, maybe that's what the problem was. Okay, so I'm back flipped into the wall. Talked to that like 30 times. Okay, well, it's not working, but basically you clip into this wall, so if that doesn't happen, if you get down here and you mess up, because it can happen, you only get a chance at that. You just go down here and talk to this owl of just being an owl. Go and put your boots on A. Make sure you're clipped into the wall. And then you super swim. You don't have to transition, but it's a little hard to you have to hear the sound effect and immediately hit left. But we're super swimming again. And now we get to go do Rooster Skip. Or, well, Rooster Skip Skip. There's so many versions of Rooster Skip. There's early Rooster Skip, there's Rooster Skip Skip, there's Rooster Skip, and then there's Rooster Skip Skip Skip, where we actually just go and get the rooster. I don't think anybody does that one except for Glitchless.
Nah,
So
skip is the best one.
Matt, I was too busy trying to figure out what you were saying that I fell in a hole.
Yeah.
Matt, what are you talking about?
Mission successful.
What is? How many skips is that?
I said 3. I said precisely the number that I wanted to say.
Okay, that was the one where you actually get the rooster and then lose to some guy who almost gets memed into doing fastbids, which is fast rapids. So you go up here. So there's the rooster key. And so just, super jump to the left. Be very careful, because if you transition to the left, that's magnifying lens land. That's a system transition, and you soft lock, but it's also really easy to get out of there. So if you do that transition during the race, it's you have to save and quit. Because that one is actually very advantageous, because otherwise you have to super jump here, you have to ledge hop here, you have to super jump back. That's faster and easier to do that. And then you get the bird key. And just for context on what you're skipping. So there's this pit. And technically right now I have boots, a shovel, and feather. So I can get over this pit. But that's really slow and may also pause forever.
That's our run's actual pause, not manual.
Yeah, that's the actual pause. So if you thought like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That looked really hard. Take a look at this pit again. And then
why don't you do the thing?
Well, I was gonna do part of reverse, so I could show it off. So this is actually, I'll just do it. I'll just do the actual the early rooster skip, which is what you have items for. The other one involves double frame perfect hook shot clanks, which again you can buffer, so it's fine. Or you just be bamboo and just be perfect all the time. And get double fursies on incredibly, I'm tired, I'm doing it this way. There's a cool jump that you can do, so, let's not fall there. And also, by the way, if you're trying to do this, each one of these falls wastes 30 seconds. So yeah, here's our pausa.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna show this off to inform people of why
it's faster to do rooster skip.
Yeah. Or why Hundo is a superior category, I don't know. Because this is what you do. Hang on. Okay. So I heard it.
Now you gotta keep on doing it, right? No.
So, by booting and then shoveling, I can maintain boot speed. Jump and held down, and I messed it up because I pressed right by accident. But anyway, that's what the trick is. I accidentally hit left, and if you press anything during that jump, you lose momentum, funnily enough. But anyway, we're done with that. We're gonna go back to Dungeon 4. Yeah, we had to get some actual pausa. Yeah, please learn Rooster Skip, because yeah, you can just I almost
skip.
Hang on.
That was
Hang on. I'm gonna go back to the start of the dungeon. I almost transitioned down. That was. But during practice for this, one of the guys I was doing this with told me to go back to the beginning of the dungeon. And I just pressed down there, and your run is over.
That was really funny, honestly.
Yeah. So you go up here. You just clip into the wall right there. You jump right here. Get hit by that guy, so he knocked you out of the wall clip.
Oh, would you mind for me, like, actually just showing what happens if you transition?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, especially because I have that save now, so, I don't know why I didn't get the super spot. Game, please. I need this guy to go away, so I can actually clip into the walls. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm not pushing buttons.
No, it was not me who told him to go down. It was our.
No, it was not. It was some other bad person. Okay, so I'm just gonna save state right here. So this is what happens when. I'll just walk over here because it's funny and broken. Don't do this. What dungeon is this?
Was it me?
I think
No,
what?
this is the same. This is Dungeon 4.
Yeah, I'm like this is D4 because this. But yeah, this is what happens. But if you transition down, As you can see, all the sounds have stopped. The game is broken. Um, and yeah, your
Did you
run is
hardlock?
dead. You can't get out of that at all. Um, but so yeah, you get the super swim, and then you just start running up here. And you just keep going. You're gonna transition left there and not keep going because otherwise that's out of bounds. And you grab the surf harp. You skip anglerfish.
E4 is the easy one.
D4 is just the biggest. It's such an easy dungeon in every category, except for no squoob where you actually have to fight cue ball.
Even then, it's easy.
Even then, it's easy. But cue ball, if you mess up cue ball, it just feels bad. So anyway, as I mentioned the other day, swimming up mountains is fast. This is allowed in this category. All of
No
this is
other
allowed
categories
in
in this game allow
We
this.
literally made this category because we wanted to do this, and then realized why it was a bad idea. So we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna do something here just to show this off because I couldn't. So if Bow Wow ends up in the right position, as Bow Wow is currently, and you could get lucky if you come from the south. Come on, I might. Okay, so Bow Wow just ate the cutscene. As you can see, the cutscene dropped a heart. But I don't have access to my buttons, so I gotta go to the left and then to the right. Also, all the music stops, and then I re-entered. But yeah, you just super swim, you run straight up. Sometimes you watch a cutscene, sometimes Bow Wow eats the cutscene. If Bow Wow eats the cutscene that fast, yeah, you won it. So, welcome to Dungeon 7, the most mash-heavy dungeon in the game. When you enter here, you're gonna skip the text and switch to Feather Sword. I'll show all the backups for Dungeon 7 because they're kind of crazy. You do a very low super jump there to get up onto these pillars. You're going to slash that crystal block because you need to. You're going to say hi to Kirby. I'm not going to play with Kirby because Kirby can make some very horrible audio sounds. So this Zol right here, we have to kill that Zol. There is no way around it. That Zol blocks all bomb triggers in this dungeon from working.
You might think, You might think, oh, it's not on the screen. It's fine. No, it needs to be dead.
Yeah, yeah. So a bunch of rooms share like animation stuff. Basically, like when you leave, they're like blocked. That's when enemies respawn. That Zol, that its spawning trigger is the next sprite. So you have to spawn it and kill it. So the game is just like, okay, it's not there anymore, and moves all the pillars into place. And, like, it's there for everything. So you can jump up against this and then mash really good and get the bomb trigger. Which I can't do this. I'm using an autofire to demonstrate that. Or you can drop 2 bombs into a pit and do a bomb trigger. Or you can do this. And here's another shack jump. This one's a lot easier to set up.
So this means that you're going to be able to do cool kid strats. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I can show it off. Oh, wait, did I not kill something? Oh, right, you have to do this in the right order. If you don't do it in the right order, it doesn't work as well. I guess that's a good way to show that off. And yeah, if you're really good at mashing and you're not paying attention, you can just blow away. I've watched one runner of this game, M-Chan, waste like it was like 25 bombs in like 2 seconds because of how crazy he is at mashing. In a different thing. So all you do is... Oh, I had to reset this room. You just push this up, you hold up and left, and then down and left through the transition, and you forget to push the feather button.
In order to learn how to do cool kid strats, Alpha, you needed to fall to your death.
Yeah. And you do that. So, this is the other bomb trigger. This is the fastest, and also means that you can beat this dungeon in 8 bombs, which is important. So you drop a bomb here, and then you just mash like hell, and you get that bomb trigger. Again, all of these bomb triggers work on the same... Like, you can do it in the pit, you can do it in a transition for all of these. And this one, you just jump at the transition, and then you hope for the best, and you get it because you're mashing really well. Again, if you're bad like I am, actually, the safest way to do it, especially if you're lower on bombs, is... You buffer, you wait until you see the bomb falling into a pit, and then you hold bomb out of menu, and this will work. Because again, and it's 1 buffer, So every time I see that, yellow, I just drop the next bomb. And it makes this very consistent. And then this one, you just, you mash really well and you hope for the best, and hey, you get it! That one was legitimate. That's, if you refer to Xander's No Squoob guide, it's just like you do this and you get it every time, is exactly what it says about that particular bomb trigger. So then you push that block aside, you super jump. Be very careful with this super jump. You can soft block here, if you land inside this block.
You want to go all the way to the left that you can.
Yeah, all the way to the left. If you don't, you'll land in the middle, you'll get stuck, and you'll have to save and quit. I will show you how to recover from that. But yeah, so then you end up here. You go here, you slash this crystal switch, and then you go up here. So let's say you did soft lock. You would end up back here, and what you have to do, the fastest way to recover, especially if you've done, this is only if you've done all of the pillars and you just soft locked right there. And why am I having problems with this? Am I not going far enough to the right?
You're slashing too late, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Oh, I'm pushing the... Okay.
It was absolutely, you were slashing too late.
Yeah. So, hi Kirby. But yeah, so, oh wait, why did I went on autopilot, hang on. Don't do that. If you normally fall down, that's what you do, but if otherwise, you go over to here. I just went on autopilot through the dungeon again. And then you just super jump up here. You come back around and go up these stairs. And, you can pick up level 2 shield if you want. You're never going to use it, but, like, you have it now. And you just slash that crystal switch, and then you're back here, and everything's good. So that's a good backup there. You can do that as well if you run out of bombs and head up here and grab those bombs. And then I guess reset to go back. It's kind of a nice way to do it. And if I can get past this thing,
Wait,
you can also, after you get those bombs, super jump over here to redo those parts of the dungeon.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I thought that you were
saying, so if you still have bomb triggers to do, just grab those bombs, super jump over here. That's how you go get bombs to recover. Or if you're really low on bombs entering the dungeon, that's probably a safe bet. As I now head back over. All the way to the left. You just look for the animation where Link is pushing blocks. Like it's really important to do that. Jump up, slash that. So this next set, I'm gonna show you a couple things. I'm gonna show you Goomba Surf, which is not a strategy I recommend, mainly because the lineup is kind of a pain. And so basically, you can see this pixel right here with Link. That has to be even with this. So we are clipped into the wall enough. Now this is a 25% chance, and this is only faster if you were absolutely perfect with the trick, which that is probably the best Goomba Surf I've ever gotten in my life.
It is pretty good, Alpha.
that was a perfect Goomba Surf?
Pretty spicy.
Why? Why now?
Because it didn't matter, that's why now.
Yeah. So that was a really good Goomba Surf, so I'm just going to show the Goombas moving back and forth. Like, they have to move over to the right, you have to super jump at the pinnacle, if you get stuck on the wall, you have to menu to boots. And that's just to get up there. That is, getting it perfectly is 1 or 2 seconds faster, because of where we're going. We're not going up here. However, if you are not comfortable in the next trick, I would recommend going up here. It's also safety because if you're low on hearts, Evil Eagle is not that threatening of a boss if you know how to fight him with bombs. You don't need that level 2 shield before. I grab that as a meme. But anyway, Goombas are also a very good way to get health. If you stomp on them, they give you hearts. But anyway, the actual way to do this... And I can't even believe that worked. Like, I'll never get a Goomba Surf that good. If I try it again, it's gonna happen, like, again. So, I guess I'll try and line it up.
I appreciate the one take in chat. So pixel jump question mark profit? That's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah, and I messed up and accidentally went out of the wall, transitioning back and forth. You want to like hold your sword and do it. Actually, this is a good place to demonstrate if you're going for Goomba Stir for whatever reason. Okay, so yeah, I'm stuck in the wall now, and I would just hope that I can bonk out of it. That is a very important thing to know. In Dungeon 3, if you're like a pixel away, actually I probably could have done this when I was stuck in the wall earlier when I was demonstrating that trick. If you're boot charging and you're a pixel stuck in the wall, you'll jump past that. So you'll do those transitions. So if you're doing that D3 skip I was doing earlier, and you booted down when I booted down when I was stuck in the wall, and like, oh, I'm soft locked, I forgot about that. You can just use your boots, and you might be able to get out of it. But I think I was a little bit too low in the wall. But yeah, normally they don't like cooperating. So what you'll do is you'll run up here. You'll have sword and feather equipped. Diagonal jump here, and then actually I'll just press this button. Let me press this button better. So you can see this little middle of the triangle. You want to get the back of Link's hat to the other side. You're going to super jump up here and then slash right, and then immediately like diagonal jump and then hold right. And it just kind of works. And then you're there. We're right where we want to be.
Easy.
Easy every time. So yeah, just run through here, and again, this is 1 to 2 seconds slower than absolutely perfect movement in Lux. So, you know, we take these. This is the better play. You just do it every time. This is a very consistent strategy. You don't have to worry about it. In other categories, because you're going to fight Evil Eagle... Oh, and I slipped off the thing because I went a little bit too far to the left.
It's worth noting, if you go up past the blocks, there's not really a way to recover from that in this category because you don't have hookshot.
Yeah, you don't have hookshot, which can let you re-clip into the wall. So if you do get stuck there, you will have to save and quit, and that sucks. But like if you just want to stand still and let the Beamos like shoot you straight on so it doesn't knock you back, that's good. So here's the scary part of this. So we're gonna go up here, we're gonna turn around here. Actually, I'm gonna make another state after jumping over the beamless laser. Clip into this wall, come around the corner, get hit by the trap apparently. That was...
Not gonna end well. This is the worst room in the game that Alpha is referring to.
Yeah, so when the bottom, you want to do your super jump, you want to jump up and slash your sword when the bottom of this trap touches right about there. So if I do that again... I didn't do it. I wasn't clipping into the wall, I thought I was. And you'll be up here. So, level 2 shield effect is... I don't know. So, okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
So, I need to explain that after... You know, I'll do this part. So... Oh no, I messed up the trick. I gotta do it again. Okay.
Oops.
Oops. That's what happens when you don't press enter. Now we know, and we'll always press enter. I have also crashed the game doing that. People had not seen that before.
For those people who aren't playing on keyboard, what does enter map to on your controller?
Sorry, start. I said that in this exact same place during that thing yesterday. So, up here, you're going to do a very specific set of movements. You're going... And sometimes it's finicky. It was being very finicky yesterday for me. You're going to hold out your shield, you're going to jump, and about at the apex of your jump, you're going to tap up. And then you're going to do that again, where you do this and hold up left that time. And then you're right up against the transition. If, when you hold right, you still can't transition, but you're like super close, try switching to boots and holding right. If you can't, press down and go here. And also, and this is the point, if, like, for whatever reason you can't get the timing on that down, and you can't do the rest of it, or, like, you can only Goomba surf, and you can't get that super jump down, you know, that super jump, just come here, fight Evil Eagle, which, I will
ways
go...
we can quick kill Evil Eagle.
Yeah, the Evil Eagle is not a long boss. It is an extra hard for the final boss. The final boss is very, very threatening. So it's a good thing to have. As I am going to go redo this trick and show it off in its entirety. Then I'm going to show you how to fight Evil Eagle with bombs, which you should have plenty of now that you are done needing to hoard bombs. Oh, okay, I transitioned, and sometimes there's like a momentum preservation thing, and you just go places. So hold right down, then you menu, and the menu property. I don't really know why this happens entirely, but it messes with how you're zipping, and you just kind of slowly moonwalk down here. If you don't menu, you'll either crash the game or zip straight down. And then, yeah, you run up here, and you just super jump to the instrument. That's great. Let me show that off one more time, just in its entirety. So wait till that touches the bottom, then do your super jump. Or touches the middle of that. Triangle. These triangles make very good visual cues. Bonk, bonk. Menu. Hold up. When you're menuing, menu to sword. And grab it. Does save and quit work there? Well, so I don't know, so I'm gonna try it. But also, you're not losing time because you want to menu to sword anyway. Let's try it. Okay, it does.
That was a weird slide as you went into the save and quit menu.
Yeah, it does do a weird slide, so that's neat. So if you didn't feel like, but since you have to menu anyway to equip boots and feather, because your boots and feather or sword and boots or whatever, probably boots feather because guess what we're doing right after this dungeon? we're going places. But yeah, it's not that complicated, but it is a lot more finicky than I'm making it. So I'm gonna grab this extra heart. So if you are not feeling safe or you want to go fight the final boss and you grab a bunch of the refill bombs down there, you can go fight Evil Eagle. So this is not the hardest boss in the world. So we're gonna do the bomb kill on him. So he says some words at us. And then we're gonna immediately transition down, up, and then drop a bomb. Oh, and I forgot to move. So, drop a bomb. It blows up. I'm just gonna die to him, I guess. Okay, hang on. Let me just restart this. Not paying enough attention, I guess.
That skidding sound that Evil Eagle just made was a direct copy-paste from Mario Game Boy games, by the way.
Hey, look, you can sort of see the Grim Creeper riding on the back of Evil Eagle. It's even funnier in the original version, because he's just, like, right there. So wait for him to show up. And then wait for the bottom of the talon to leave the screen, pick up and throw a bomb, and he does it again. Bottom talon leaves the screen. I didn't press the button again. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. So I messed up the kill there. It's very consistent because I just didn't push the B button enough.
I did it again! I had the perfectly timed quip, too!
Matt, stop muting yourself. Oh, right. You have to transition down and you just drop all your bombs into the void. I think I dropped that way too early. Oh, nope. So when the talons leave the top of the screen... And he's dead! Very easy boss, 0 damage.
Why are you dropping more bombs on it?
Because he doesn't need the bombs anymore. Well,
I don't need. I need like a couple bombs for one more bomb trigger, and then you
need, like,
just get
3 tops.
What if I need him for devil?
Because you won't. You don't even hate yourself that much.
I don't. Only Dragon does. Dragon's the only person who I've ever seen try to fight. So the final boss in this game, the final form, just in case you weren't aware, does take 1 damage from bombs.
Oh no.
Just so everyone knows.
Oh, no,
Do not do
why?
that.
Because, like I said, he hates himself, but he doesn't hate himself that much.
So we're just gonna fall in this hole. If you have memories from other categories, do not buffer the save and quit menu so you regain control. Oh yeah, holding jump through transitions. Alright, just to make a point, please put boots on A. It is safer for everyone if your boots are on A, because A is what makes you go faster in the water. And if you jump when you touch this, your run is probably screwed. Although right there wouldn't be the worst soft lock in the world. So we are going to run left.
That you don't go too high, because then you'll trigger the cutscene for the egg, which you have to watch at some point anyways, but it's more thematically appropriate if we do it later.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go up here because does some weird things. Don't touch that like, or you have to wait for Moldorm to Bow Wow to eat the thing. Also, as a point, don't go up here because you'll fall and get teleported.
We haven't mentioned, while you're super swimming, you can go off the sides of the map.
Also,
Don't
so I'm
do
at the
that.
beach again. This is also illegal. Also, the ghost is with me now, and as you can see, the ghost is currently Bow Wow. I just wanted to show this because this is really funny. Because like the sprites get messed up. Like look at this blue Octorok. I want to see if I can find a Marin. There's probably something good somewhere.
Look at what actual Marin is.
She's in Animal Village. Oh yeah, there we go. There's Marin. Oh, and I entered. And so I went over that grave, and now I'm down here. So yeah.
I really hope you had a save on the mountain.
Of course, I did that immediately. So jump here, make sure you don't do anything, and look, we're in Dungeon 8. So, as, like, absolute safety, you do buffer to sword and thing there. If you are low on arrows or you have taken damage at all, just go down here and pick those up. They are really quick to get. Do not save and quit or you will go to the start of the dungeon. But that's not a very hard recovery either. But you grab these arrows, go over here, you buffer. Okay, I got a frame perfect Jesus jump. So, this is Lava Swim. In order to Lava Swim, you need your sword equipped to make this consistent, because otherwise it's sub-pixel dependent. Slash your sword, like out of this menu, slash your sword and hold right, and it's consistent. The sword slash sets your sub-pixel. And you hold down against this wall, press A, and you're super swimming, menu over to boots, and just go to the instrument. Or, go too far, go out of bounds. Make everything silly. I was planning on this. No, Matt, I was planning on this because just in case you save and quit, I will show you how to get through the start of the dungeon normally. I had a thing. I just wasn't gonna go to the Thunder Drum room. So you go up here. I didn't do the thing that cancels that, but whatever. Just push that up there. You can boot jump up here. Then just go over here. Oh, I didn't need to go that far. I was trying to do something cool, and then I let go of the wrong button.
You could have just regular super jumped right there.
Yeah, no, I could have done it here, but I was trying to do something stupid. So you just super jump here, and then jump... Oh, I got stuck.
Alpha.
This is what I get for This is what I get for trying to inform people. Okay, so I'm up here in the corner. There's a splash. Sword slash, I'm lava swimming.
We're back where we were.
Yeah. So if you end up there. Oh, and well no, I guess I have to go to the boss, but I can't fight the boss right now.
Definitely can't do that. So a lot of the dungeons
you
need
problem.
the item.
I know what to do. So it's like I had a feeling I'm really clipped into the wall. I'm probably not gonna clip, so I just had to redo it the other way. It works both ways. It's fine. Oh, and then I clipped out of the wall, so I just gotta reset the thing up. I was more clipped into the wall, and I'm like, I wonder if this is gonna do this or this, because I wanted to experiment there. But anyway.
This is a tutorial. It's not time to experiment, pal.
Both. Okay, so yeah, just hold down, get this, go up here, make a hard left, and pick up this drum. And now we go back to D2, because I just remembered I had the remainder of that tutorial to show off.
Yes. You need to go redo that. Because nobody's gonna do the way you did it.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody
it's fun.
should
I really
do
like
the
that
way
way.
you
It's fun.
I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying you shouldn't have people do it. It's bad.
Oh, no, not at all. I also did facade skip, so, you know,
Do as we say, not as we do. Well,
I definitely don't do facade skip. Nobody wants to do facade skip. So, just a reminder about clipping into things. So, this is one of the big time saves that getting it earlier saves you. If Bow Wow can make this a lot nicer if it just decides to eat anything. Or otherwise, you have to go all the way. It's every flower when I was trying to show off dodging them, and it has the gall to do that. Bow Wow,
Except
please.
your fade. Except your fade.
That was a jerk.
So now we're going back to the big key room in D2.
Yeah, so this is a significantly easier setup. And, like, this was explained to me, I did this, like, immediately. Don't have to make any special movements. So you still will need... Oh, yeah, the bunny can just hit you through walls. Bunny's great. So, you go here, you throw the bunny at the wall, you equip boots, feather, go clip into this, jump, and then arrow, shield. That's it. It's really, really easy. I'll do it again. Because I probably should go over it again because it's a bunch of very fast movements.
It's the same thing that we've done before in different places. Especially...
I like that I have level 2 shield. It's... I grabbed it as a joke.
Good job.
It's... The item doesn't even get used in the categories it's picked up, like, except for glitchless, I guess. But even then, they probably still... You don't need it for the Evil Eagle fight. Evil Eagle's just... It's just a sad boss.
While Alpha is doing this again, I should point out, you see how we have 6 hearts? Yeah, this is the end of the run.
Yeah, normally you'd have 5, but I did kill Eagle, so... Yeah, you are low on hearts. That is one of the reasons I recommend killing Eagle. It makes things safer. Come on, bunny. So, again, you pick up the bunny. You have all the time in the world to line this bunny up with this pot, because it doesn't move again when it's on your head, and it resets its, like, stun animation. So I've thrown it, I equip boots, I go here, I can clip into this, and then I just wait until I have boot speed, which I did that from standing, and I realized that that's impossible. Do this, walk over there to make sure that you're clipped, and then move back, so you have, okay, my button didn't go off, so go down here, clip in, back, and then, yeah, so I'm trying to show off not doing it the other way. So yeah, so do that, so that you'll have time to react. Then you need shield and arrows, and then you just hold down A and B and right, and you're out. You have the conch shell. The best instrument, and when I went to go see the Symphony of the Goddesses Orchestra, was very disappointed when they played Ballad of the Windfish and had solos for every other instrument, but not the conch shell.
Maybe they were trying to avoid a Lord of the Flies incident.
No, what happened was the conch shell went missing, and they had to go get Freddy the Fish to go find it.
So, we are now at the end of the run. You're gonna switch to your good old boots and your bracelet. We are almost at the end of this tutorial. It has been about 3 hours. This is about right. I showed off plenty. As we are going up here, this is the other one. This is a bit of a pain to set up. And then again, another bomb trigger right here. You can do it like this, or, well, you can do it like this if you're cool, or you just do it the way that I always do it, which is just bomb, drop, hold up, and bomb, and buffer through it. It works every time. It's very consistent.
Visible difference between the first two? What was different?
You lose 2 seconds because you menu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so the music is over.
I like how we all yesterday we went over and we said we should probably talk about stuff during that when we're doing the tutorial.
No, we're gonna do that during the race. So this is the egg. If you can't remember how to get through the egg, there's a default path, and just name your split that. But it is... Oh wait, hang on, I should have bombs on, because I shouldn't take the... Left, left. I'm gonna draw a bomb here. Up. Right. Right. Up. Left. Up.
Left.
That's the
up,
whole egg.
Right, up, left, up.
You got it. You're
left,
a
left,
Link's
up.
Awakening speedrunner.
Also known as...
If you can't remember that, just remember the whole thing. So anyway, this is the final boss. We want a bomb trigger. This is the only bomb trigger in the entire game you cannot buffer, because otherwise you white screen and your run is over. I actually don't know how to do the buffer, because I know it's terrifying and it breaks your game. So you have to mash this one out.
You pause before you hit the ground, and that's what kills
Okay, yeah, so I'll try and show that off, as I drop like a million bombs here.
It's like if you pause right now, your game is
I didn't get it, and I also got it, and I didn't even... That was me legitimately doing that. Wait, hang on. Okay, I had to remember where my state was.
Well then.
I didn't remember where I stated. So I didn't know where in the maze that was.
That one wasn't auto-firing, was it?
No, I just got that one.
Right.
Oh my god.
Up,
I didn't expect that to happen!
left, up.
Okay.
Haha.
So,
I remember.
I will show the fight off without the bomb trigger at
You
the start.
actually want to have here equipped your sword and your bombs.
Oh, yeah, I guess you do want sword and bombs.
That's really important. They have sword and bombs equipped.
Yeah, it saves the menu. I mean, you can... Yeah, because you don't... You can menu at the bottom, too.
Yeah, but you probably don't want to.
I mean, it doesn't... That one doesn't matter, because I had done it the other way. But I'm not going to bomb trigger the start, so say you miss it because you're really bad at mashing, like me, you get 10 seconds of unskippable text, and you get really, really good music.
Until death.
Like, you get this terrifying, like, nightmare music. It's really good. And then you want to try and get your backup quick kill by putting your sword, like, right here. You can kind of line it up with these pixels. And then if the blob is really nice, you get some damage on him. If you're lucky, you'll get the whole thing. And if I move to the right, I might have. But the blob takes 3 powders to kill. Or 4, maybe? So yeah, I had done some damage to him. So this is Aghanim. As is right now, there's no way to manipulate him while the music is playing. Because basically the RNG is reset in this room once you enter it. And you can remove everything that rolls RNG, the music, your sword slashes, and still quick kill the blob. So you know exactly what the rules for Aghanim are. And then we have developed apps that will tell you whether or not you are on the supposed to be on an even or odd pixel, which you can set up using this wall to figure out whether or not you're on the even or we have that on the resources page of our Speedruns Live or on our SRC page. It's crazy to do it. It was developed by one of the members of the community. There's a bunch of different setups for it, but that's this. So this is Moldorm. Moldorm, you want to spin slash and then strike 15 times after the spin slash. You can slash him forever, and he'll eventually die after 256 slashes. If you don't do it, Moldorm kind of gets out of hand. Let me just make a Moldorm state real quick. And that's not good, I guess since I'm doing this here. So you just charge a sword, you kind of wait for him to show up. I think I slashed him like 20 times there. Oh, and now there's Ganon. You want to boot at him and then hold towards him, but you probably don't want to take a lot of damage from him because the final boss is very scary, or the final phase. The only thing that's going to hurt him are spin slashes and charges, and this is Lamola. and it's gone. So then you're going to menu to feather and arrows. And this is Deathel. You're going to walk him up into the top right-hand corner, and you're going to stand here and wait for him to open his eyeballs to stare you down. He only has one, though. And I didn't push that good enough. So you can get 5 arrows in, technically. Ah, man, I really wish I didn't just push that. And that's, Deathel. That can get out of hand. It's really ugly. I would recommend definitely fighting it. And then the last part of this is you get into the corner. You wait for this text, you hold up left, and then you will enter that on the same frame as everything else. Now I will show off the bomb trigger fight version of that fight, which is very different. Deathel is weak to boomerang, bombs, and the bow. And I guess technically ocarina, but that's a very, very specific skip that we can't do in this category because it requires a song. So you're now down here. You're going to pick this bomb up. You're going to hold out sword. You're going to throw the bomb. You're going to use this to line yourself up. You're going to get into the middle of the blob. You're going to drop a bomb to make that consistent. And now the blob phase is over. Now this is where
almost missed that.
Yeah, I almost messed it up. So this, you have to do your sword slashes very specifically for the manipulation. I don't have the app on me, and I didn't even slash my sword apparently. Or I did, but it just went through it because I stood too close.
Your sword.
Alpha.
I'm not used to not having cool music. I'm not hyped.
You should be fueled on anxiety by this point, man.
We're like 3 hours into this. It's already too late for anybody to be mad at me.
Be mad at yourself.
No. I have you for that.
You think I'm mad at you? It's not worth it.
So I'm gonna stand right here, and then. So yeah, basically as. I can't count. It's really hard to hear the hit confirms and just remembering how many times you pushed it. You want to charge your sword here to hit Ganon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Okay, so 12. Like, it's like 12 or 13 hits to kill Ganon with that. And then we're on to.
Pretty sure.
Matt, do you remember how many hits it is to kill Ganon?
12.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure it's 12. After the first spin slash. Let me just stand here.
90% sure it's 12. But the rule is just keep on hitting it until it's dead.
Yeah. Just play Ganon safer and like, because this can like, no, I'm gonna let this get out of control. Let's just do this. So like, if you lose control of Deathel, this starts happening.
And it's worth noting, the arms do 1 heart of damage, the body...
Yeah, but the body does a half, so if you're gonna take a hit, jump at his face. So, like, this is actually really hectic to control, but I just do this for fun sometimes, because fighting this boss is amusing. So, I'm probably better at fighting a Unchained Deatheye than most.
Madman.
Listen, that boss is really fun when you don't just put him in a corner. And again... Hold up right, or up left, down right into that corner, up left, you get onto the first frame, and then you're done. You did it. You played Link's Awakening. You learned all the tricks. It's been 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's probably good for a first run.
No, Alpha. It's been 0 hours, 0 minutes. You just got a world record in 2.
Oh, nice. But I didn't have the resets. I didn't have the thing confirming I was on console, so I can't submit it to the leaderboards. That's a shame.
Oh, I'm sorry, banned.
I'll make sure to submit this and just give it to Spice Father. I may have also used some save states.
There we go. That's a more appropriate time, Matt.
Oh, what did you do real quick? I hope you didn't just replace it with bad, because despite that being correct, I did my best to inform the
It's
people.
not bad. It's just a bad time.
I can't put letters in that field. I actually cannot put letters in that field.
You trying to shove in an int max in there? Or just hitting random buttons? Listen, I said I was gonna go less time than dime, okay? I didn't dime with that
less
long.
time than time. I can do less time than dime. Hang on.
Dime -1.
Just
There you
there we go.
There's less time than dime.
Listen, Dime's tutorial was amazingly informative,
It was
and I
very
really
good.
liked it.
Like, if
I
you're
hope
interested
everybody-
in getting into speedrunning Doom, like, just watch that tutorial. It's long, but
Yeah.
Dime did an amazing job with it.
It was really good. I hope
We hope
people
that you
learned
guys-
a lot about this game.
Yeah.
It's a treat because normally, like, when the past 2 times I go onto GDQ to talk about like the other runs in this game, and like just in general talking about this run, the joke is like there's so much to talk about and so little time. I can shotgun like cast an entire race and never stop talking because the next thing is happening. There is so much going on in this game, and it's just so nice to be able to step back and actually talk about what everything is happening.
I can
Like, I
confirm
never get that
this
much
man-
time.
This man totally can, has, will, and makes people very angry when he shotgun casts races like that, because he has done it before.
I mean, listen, it's when I'm the only one around, so I have to.
You have people come on, and you're like, come on, come talk with me, and then you just talk for an hour and a half to yourself.
Matt, you show up fully knowing that, you know, unless you want to talk. Those are unrelated to the Link's Awakening races.
Besides that, we hope you guys learned a lot watching this tutorial, and that you guys will enjoy doing stew runs for Speed Seasons Season 3.
Speedseasons.com.
Yeah, go to speedseasons.com to learn more. It's got a ton of information. Check out the prizes page that lays out everything that I'm giving back to everybody who's playing these games. You can win Steam games for winning the race every week. You can, you know, get your prizes for qualifying for top 8. That's all provided through me.
In addition, if you guys
fun.
do go through and learn all of the stuff that Alpha did, you basically know how to speedrun every other category of the game.
Yes, you just have to learn well, I didn't teach him Zora Bump, or specifically Wide Bump.
Alright, let's not talk about that. You can finish
That's the
Hundo
only
without
trick.
that.
Yeah, that's the only trick in the game that is not covered, and like that's one of the things I also like about this is one you didn't really spoil yourself with the game because you didn't see any of it, and there's so much more to do, but it's applicable to every other route, and because the movement is different, it always feels fresh. So when you get burnt out on one category, moving to another category isn't bad because the movement is really, really good in the Zelda game, and it's just really fun. This and the Oracle's games have phenomenal movement.
This ending is always weird to me because, like, you spend the entire game looking at the Game Boy Toon Link sprite, and then suddenly he's a person.
Suddenly you have,
It reminds
you
me of,
have
like,
this
FF7.
face. Suddenly this is the face that you see at the end of the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see it at, like, the very beginning, too, but, yeah.
Yeah, but at least he looked better at the beginning of the game as he's getting chucked off his boat.
His ship is getting exploded by lightning.
Look, that was Aghanim, actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get to, we won't get to see the Marin Seagull because you do die in this run. You don't really have an option because, the bow is so important and so expensive, and there's no quick way to get 200 rupees either. Also, Deathless is a really bad race category, although it kind of exists with the no save and quit one. I love that windfish just flopping around, but at least you're allowed to steal and no save and quit, so...
Yeah, you did it, Alpha. How do you feel now that the tutorial is done?
I'm excited because some people had already posted things about learning stuff, and that usually didn't happen like before someone even did the tutorial. So I'm excited. I'm really
So,
looking forward to this race this week.
important question to ask. If people wanted to look more into some of the tricks, like how they work and, you know, like technical breakdowns, are there any good places for people to go for that?
Absolutely. Go to the SRC page, speedruns.com/LADX. There's a link to the Discord. There are 1 million people there who will help you learn the route. And then a couple grumpy people who will ask you why you're learning Stew. Mainly one person, but that's fine. He'll help. He's very helpful. He wrote up a ton of tutorials. We have a ton of video tutorials on like learning every trick that go in depth. We just didn't have a big one for Stew and all of the crazy backups that you can do to get around stuff. But yeah, just I would fully recommend that. And then also the Speed Seasons Discord. We have an LADX channel. We have a couple other runners in there, and we are all standing by to answer questions. So that will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the both places very good.
thank you very much, Alpha, for picking up this tutorial very much in the 11th hour. And please, none of our runners run into any other issues. I don't think Alpha can take it.
No.
He'll be able to
I'm just
take it like a
changing
champ.
the game next time. I'm changing the game.
It's gonna be Princess Remedy if this happens again. By the way, I'm spoiling it right now.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I'm going down the list of other. No, and after that, it's going to be fantastic 1 point fun. It's going to be over in like 6 minutes, and then I'm just going to stare angrily at a camera.
All right, and so tune in 13 days, not quite 2 full weeks, for the actual race of this, which will be on this channel starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Race will be starting at about 1:20. That's their cutoff point is 20 minutes after the hour for when we actually start the race. And then the day after that, we'll have another one of these tutorial series for the game that's revealed. But in the meantime, next week on the Community Spotlight, we're going back to our regular programming. We actually have a very special showcase. We have, I've been working with the Path of Exile racing community, and they have set up a showcase about speedrunning Path of Exile. And they're going to be bringing on some of the top racers and talking about speedrunning Path of Exile, showing off some of the different act speedruns, and, you know, showing off that there really is a speedrunning community for that game that a lot of people don't really think about, because it's mostly like, it's a ARPG. People don't think about speedrunning ARPGs that often, but the racing community for that game is huge. So they're going to have some time to show that off. Make sure you tune in next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. And in the meantime, if you tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, you can see Time Capsule, which is a show about speedrunning games that were released in the same year. We'll be showing off Pikmin and Shenmue 2. So that'll be a bunch of fun as well. But do you two have any final words, shout-outs before we wrap things up and go on a raid?
Play this game. It's a lot of fun. You will not regret it.
And you too can be better than Alpha at a video game by playing more than 2 days.
Yeah. I got my PB in 2 days, although I do have a lot of background knowledge in this game, so it helped a little bit.
Yep. So thanks everybody for watching. Good luck to people who want to enter the race. And we will see you in 2 weeks for Speed Seasons. And we'll see you tomorrow for Time Capsule for just general hotfix content. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to raid someone. So if you want to see some more speedrunning content, we'll send you in the direction of somebody who's speedrunning tonight if you want to hang around. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.